You ever grab a sandwich? We serve them in there.
No kidding.
We're live.
All right.
Welcome to the Ben Mala podcast. Happy Wednesday. We're here with Mr. Ben Mala himself, Mr. Jimmy Hart, Mr. Aaron Mala, the youngest of the sons. And welcome. We got a new studio here. And make sure we're doing super chats. You can call in live. You can talk to Ben Mala himself. Go to benmala.com, find the form, and then you should be good. So welcome.
Ben, we need a name for the show. What about Ben Mala? What do you want to talk about? What do you think?
We're here to talk about real estate, making money.
Well, that's what you want to talk about. Absolutely.
You know nothing
Absolutely.
about real estate or making money, okay? Because you're an entertainer. You're here to make us laugh.
Well,
I'm here to help people make money, get ahead in life, and help them make the right moves.
Well,
when you get on stage, you go, hey, I'm Jimmy Hart. Hey, go watch this guy kick this guy's ass. It's great. It's entertainment. But you bring no value, true value, and no impact in people's life. Yeah, we get a couple of good laughs out of you.
Well, you asked me to be a guest. You asked me to be a guest tonight.
That's because you live here.
Well, I know
to get something out of you.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, though. What do you think about Donald Trump's first 30 days before we start the show? Give me your opinion, honest opinion. What do you think? First 30 days.
Number one, he's been in office for 60 days in.
Okay.
Okay, there's a TV show called 60 Days In, too. It's not could be confused with the show because the show's about being in jail for 60 days. Well, a lot of people, the haters wanted him there. They want to lock him up, baby.
You're skirting the question.
The guy's a friggin', he's got tricks up his sleeve. Okay. And anyway, the point is, who's older, you or him? You're older than him.
You're skirting the question. What do you think about his 60 days, 30 days, 60 days?
You know,
what do you think?
What I think we're in the right direction, but he's actually working for a living. I mean, they can't make all that shit up you see on TV. I couldn't imagine waking up in the morning and having to think about, okay, what are we doing about Ukraine and Russia? What are we doing about the Middle East? What are we doing about all the other bullshit going on in the world? It would just be too much. Okay, I don't know. I can't even wake up and think about what I got to do, and all I got is 25 properties to manage. So, listen, he's about your age, isn't he? He's a little younger than you.
Don't bring me into it. I'm not the president. I've never voted in my life. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm just a jabroni.
You're just a jabroni.
Well, let me ask you this, too. What about the stock market right now? How has it affected your life?
Listen, the stock market is an emotional giant slot machine. Okay, basically, you're gambling. It's all about people are emotional. All right. Oh, the tariffs are coming. Oh, the stock market's going to go down because we're going to lose a lot of money because the tariffs are going up. Blah, 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 blah. It's just a fucking up and down bouncing ball, and you got to be on the right bounce.
I agree. And, the market right now is really volatile. I mean, history has shown, and I'm not making this stuff up, the first 3 months to year of a new president coming into office, that's when they're usually coming and bringing in the new ideas and the new policies, and they're getting rid of the old, which makes the market really volatile. So that's also something
he's 18 now. Aaron's 18 now.
I mean, I've been following the market for a little while.
He knows everything.
How's that affected you, Aaron? The stock
well, I mean, there's definitely a correction right now going on. A lot of people probably are losing some money in big companies right now, NVIDIA, Apple, blah, blah, blah. But corrections are the norm.
But
I mean, corrections happen. But
chips and computers, no matter what you want to think or like, they're the future.
I mean, right now, the market's become, like, you're right, kind of a casino. I mean, there's a lot of, like, passive selling.
Listen,
I would just keep in the long-term view.
Get out there and get a job and work for a living like Jimmy Hart. How many days a week does Jimmy Hart work? At least 6 or 7.
7.
He's working 7 days a goddamn week. He ain't never here. That's why I like him living here, because he's never here.
Never here.
All right, so what have you been doing lately, Jimmy?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. First of all, Real American Beer. Hogan's got this.
Real American Beer.
Real American Beer. Hogan's got this.
Made in Denmark.
I'm trying to tell you now, if you let me talk. Okay. Hogan's got this brand new beer called Real American Beer. And I've been working for them back and forth, still doing WWE stuff with the not podcast, but doing the radio, TV, promoting it and everything. So I'm trying to really stay busy. So other than that, everything's doing pretty good.
You're always busy, I'll tell you that. And let me tell you, he ain't no spring chicken. Okay. I don't think I could be doing nothing. I can't do what he does now. Forget about it. He's about 20 years older than me or more. You're about 23 or 4 years old.
But you're my inspiration.
You're in the Trump zone.
You're my inspiration.
Yeah, well, you're always busy. You're keeping good. You're looking good. Your health is good. Very good. And you're out there promoting a new beer. I'm going to try the beer out. I don't drink beer, but
you
I'll
know
try
what?
it.
Next
Oh,
You think
podcast.
he'd bring me a free fucking 6-pack or
Next-
something? No. Lives in my goddamn multi-million-dollar mansion. Don't even bring me a 6-pack. Hey, brother, by the way, we're promoting this new beer. Why don't you try it out?
Let me tell you people something. Every time I
Don't
come
bring
back from
me
a trip,
shit.
here's Ben. Oh my God, I'm hurting. I gotta sell my house. Let's go buy a Batmobile. Oh, I'm hurting. Let me go buy a $3 million boat. Oh my God, let me buy this 3-wheeler. Oh, I'm hurting so bad. Ben, you're always gonna land on your feet. You've got so much stuff going on, man. I don't see how you do it. Thank God you've got Aaron, the heir to the throne, sitting over here.
Yeah, he's an heir, all right. The air ain't smelling so good right now.
Uh-oh.
I think he's 18 now. He's a big shot, you know?
Oh, I like that.
Anyway, we'll see if he makes any goddamn money because he sure likes to spend it.
But before
We could
start,
talk about the stock market. That'd be great.
Before we start, can I say one
I
thing?
talk about what I know. I know real estate.
Can I say one thing before we start? Thank y'all very much for representing me by wearing your sunglasses today. Thank you so much.
Who?
I did it because of
You
you.
and him and me.
I always wear my sunglasses. I pick after you.
Oh,
You're a big shot
all
celebrity.
right. We've got some questions from the fans.
Oh, yeah, we do have some
Listen,
super chats.
but I want to hear somebody live. Could somebody call in or some shit? God
All right,
damn
well,
it.
thank you to Dennis.
So anyway, go ahead.
Thank you to Dennis Veronin for the first super chat. Thank you for the $9.99. Benjamin, this perm, we are inviting you to Brighton Beach, Brooklyn.
I'm not going to Brighton Beach. I don't speak Russian.
We will provide
I don't
unlimited.
like Russian kill you.
We will be providing unlimited matzo ball soup for your whole family. Never forget, you are one of the chosen people.
Thank you very much. But I'm not going to Brighton. My mother lives near Brighton. My father used to live in Brighton. And one time, I'll tell you, this is a real, quick story. Okay, I went to go visit my father. He lived in Brighton on the beach there, right by the block from the train. And, but, I didn't want to take the train because, I like taking the train. I grew up on a fucking train. So basically, I went to a cab stand. I swear to God, there's a little hole in the wall cab stand. I go up to the guy, I go, what do you want? And I said, can I get a cab to Manhattan? You don't want cab from here. Trust me. And I trusted him. I got the fuck out of there because you get in a car with them. You don't know where the fuck you're going. Anyway, it's just thanks for the invite, but I'll stick to sunny Florida, baby. I'll find some matzo ball soup here.
Hey, how's your mother doing, by the way?
I don't know. Why don't you call her and better yet go visit her? She turns 90 in May.
What?
You're coming with me to visit her
I
when
love
she
her.
turns
I
90.
love her, man. I went up there one time to New York
And
to
let
see
me
her.
tell
She
you,
was
it's
phenomenal.
going to be her last birthday. Aaron, bring a good pillow. All right. So basically, I'm going to talk about real estate. Trump. Everybody talk about Trump and what's his name? Tesla guy.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. And all these guys. I mean, basically, things are cooking. I mean, at least you hear about what's going on in the government, whether you like it or not. You agree with it, disagree with it. You didn't hear shit when the other guys are president. Now, because this guy loves attention. So the way he gets attention is by doing shit. That's what he lives for. Let's face it, at his age, he ain't gonna be around that much longer. So let's see what he can stir up, and hopefully, we'll do some positive shit here. But basically, he promised. I mean, I'm not a big support. I mean, I'm a supporter of, in him winning because we had no choice. But, let's be honest. He bragged and he said a lot of shit he was going to do. Oh, yeah, I'll get that Trump war solved before it's I even get in office. All right. He might have thought he wanted to or could have, but he can't. Nobody could.
Ben, you had a Trump sign in your front yard.
No, I didn't.
Please.
That was an imitation lawn sign. But the guy who put the sign in.
Please.
You met with Trump in Daytona. I got a picture of my office to prove it.
I sure did.
Okay.
I met with him there. This is not this term, what?
Yeah, they want you to be
8 years
on the
ago.
cabinet too. He's hiring every other nut in town. So basically, he ain't gonna solve that war that quick. But listen, is he making some kind of effort? Yeah, he's making an effort. I mean, it's all about money, baby. Listen, he started that crap with what's his name? The Ukrainian president, Zelensky.
Yep.
I always mix it up with what's her name? Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, listen, it's all about money. All right, he's making a deal. And what's in the news about it? I can tell you right now, without even going through the whole boring article. The point is this: Trump is going to find people that he knows can handle the job and the task just because he's seen them handle tasks like that in the past. All right. You judge people by their past performance. Okay. And that's what he's doing. So he found a guy, got a guy. I'm sure if that guy was out of New York, which I'm sure he is, he was a deal maker in New York. And I'm going to tell you right now, if he was making deals in New York in real estate, you had to deal with everybody. You had to deal with the crazy government. You had to deal with the mob. Okay. You had to deal with the unions. You had to deal with everybody. So, Russia is just like the same damn thing. So he sent the guy in there that's got a track record of making deals in the toughest city in the country or the world to make deals in. And he threw him in there. So, it's all about Ukraine. What do you got? It's all about what you got. It's all about money. Okay. Money. Okay. When you're dealing with the mob or the union, it's all about money, baby. How much money is passing hands? All right. So what's Ukraine got? What are they worth? They ain't got no money. They ain't got, too much of nothing, but they got minerals that can lead to making chips and all this stuff, I believe. And that's where their money's at. So that's what they tap. They cut a deal. All right, you're sharing your minerals. You're not digging them out anyway because you can't afford to or don't know how to, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll get your minerals. We'll convert them to money. We'll spread it around. And everyone will be happily ever after. That's the deal you're going to make. All right? That's what it's all about, money. Okay, so there you go.
So you're saying it's a good choice that he picked this particular person.
He's trying to pick the right people. He's got Musk over there trying to cut corners on everything, which I don't know. It's better than not doing nothing. I can tell you that. Okay, is everything going to be perfect? I don't know, but basically, DOGE. You know what DOGE means, Jimmy? Tell me what the definition of DOGE is for $1,000.
I'll pass it over to Aaron.
I know it's Department of Government. I don't know the E. What's the E?
Department of Government Efficiency.
Efficiency.
Okay? So basically what they're doing now is they're going around, they're trying to trim the fat on everything that goes on. Running a country is like running a business. They're taking all our tax money, and I've been paying some taxes lately. You know why? Because I'm just tired. I said, fuck it, just pay him the goddamn tax, and then we got enough real estate to worry about, okay? And so basically, we're going through, and we're looking at the real estate we have. That's one aspect of saving money. And yes, we got empty buildings the government owns, empty land that we have no use for. We're paying on leases that were underutilized. So we need to go through and manage the government's portfolio of real estate. Why? Because real estate's worth money. And we can take that money and we can buy down the deficit, baby. All right? Because I guess that's what it's all about, buying down the deficit. Why? Because the deficit is what we owe. Okay? And so basically, he's got, I don't know who he put in charge of that, but maybe Musk is sticking his nose in that. But basically, sell off all the crap we don't need. If you don't need it, get rid of it. That goes for everybody. Okay. If you don't need it, get rid of it. If it's not producing income, you don't need it. Get rid of it. Okay. And then you take the proceeds from the sale, and then we can buy down our debt or put it somewhere we need the money at. Okay. And also, when the government sells buildings, it's going to raise revenue, but the new development that comes in there is now going to turn into revenue. Property taxes we're going to get. They're going to get taxes on the money that's made in that building and the price and the real estate taxes. So it's going to help and could better communities. We got to manage the government's portfolio. So that's the story on DOGE. And then they're going to go through all the other divisions of the government and see where we can trim some fat. Okay. And hopefully we do, because, the point is, we got too many people on the payroll, I think, for the government. Okay. Keep the important shit. And let's just trim the fat to what we need. All right. What else you want to talk about, Jimmy? You want to talk about condos? You want to buy a condo?
No. Let me ask you this. Have you ever thought about you and Aaron getting a Tesla?
We talked about it. We looked at it. We test drove them. It's not for us. Why? Because I don't want to run around looking for a goddamn charging station. All right. I want to get some fucking gas. And I normally, I can stop, whatever. I don't know. It's right. It's good for some people. It's whatever you like. It's just not for me right now. I don't want to be confined to electric and something that's still new. I got charging stations at all my hotels. I'm getting ready. Aaron and his brother are making a deal, putting them in our other hotels and some shopping centers or something. It's just the future, but I'm not ready for the future yet. I like my goddamn Bentley, boy.
You like living in the past.
I like, listen, look who's talking about living in the past. You're from another fucking century.
I like living in the past.
Who are you? Were you even born in 1900?
I like living in the past. This is great.
What year are we in? 2025. When were you born in? 1925 or something?
1944, baby.
Holy shit, man.
January the 1st, New Year.
You're like, that was World War II.
No,
you were born. You were born, and then we went into World War II right after you were born. Right? 1945 was the war.
Uh-oh.
I think.
That's when you were in.
All right. So basically, anybody got any questions out there? You got anything good, Aaron, worth talking about?
Yeah, I have some super chats. All right. Shout out Rossi Roofing. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, Ben. I know you are a add value and sell guy kind of guy. I will be a buy and hold guy using profits from another business. Do you think you could have done as good buying and holding?
Listen, you buy and you hold it. That means you get a good return on your money. But you're not going to be able to have enough money in my situation to do the next deal. Okay, yeah, the money's trickling in every month and I'm getting a good return, but that's not going to take you up the ladder. You got to cash in with big bucks to do another big deal. So, and what I do eventually, what everybody normally does is you're diversified. All right, I'm diversified. I might do a value add deal. I might have some buy and hold stuff. Okay, when I bought the Lowe's and the Home Depots and all that stuff, they were buy and hold. There's no value in buying those deals. I bought them for the cap rate. So, it's best to be diversified. So then you got money coming in from all ends, big chunks and little trinkles, baby, every month.
What about John's Pass? How's it doing now?
John's Pass is all put back together from the storms. I still got to decide whether I'm going to build 6 more hotel rooms there. Ben's busy leasing out 2 vacant spaces we had because the storm kind of messed them up and the tenants had to go. Everything else is pretty much put together there. We're just doing everything we can to fix it up and get it running right. And that's it.
It should be popping with spring break because you got all the
baby,
restaurants there.
John Pass is popping.
The hotel rooms look great.
Popping like a firecracker.
There you go.
Country mother. Anyway, what else we got?
All right, shout out Richard Hill. Thank you for the super chat. My total monthly payment for a condo is $2.2K. $1.3K is mortgage, and I want to pay insurance, HOA, and taxes on a yearly basis to decrease the payment. If I rent my place out for $2.2K, is the difference cash flow or breaking even?
Ooh.
I mean, listen, the point is that if you rent it out, you're not going to have nowhere to live. So you're going to end up spending money somewhere else. So it's basically a wash, I mean, basically, if you're not going to cash flow by renting something, you shouldn't rent it. If you're just going to break even, then what's the point? You might as well sell the goddamn thing then. What's the point owning if you're not going to make any damn money? And then, I don't know. I don't know what equity you got in it. We can talk about it and see what's right for you. Go to benmail.com, consult with Ben, get me on the phone. So, basically, it doesn't make sense to me to own something just for, owning it with no cash flow, zero cash flow. Actually have real estate that you could buy at zero cash flow, but that's a whole nother complex story.
But he's talking about
what?
Paying insurance, HOA, and taxes on a yearly basis.
You can't pay.
Have you heard
you
of
might
it?
be able to get away with paying HOA annually. The taxes you pay annually anyway. And your insurance, you can definitely pay the premium annually. So I don't know how it's going to save any money.
Yeah, you're still dishing out the money anyways.
You either pay it out in one lump sum or you spread it out over a year. So it's up to you. It's a wash, baby. A wash means it don't matter. It ain't taking you nowhere and ain't putting you back nowhere. But, I would definitely think about what it's going to cost you to live somewhere else if you're living in that property and you're going to rent it out for zero cash flow. Okay, peace out.
All right, shout out Matus. Thank you for super chat. DOGE, Democrats officially getting exposed.
Democrats officially getting exposed. News at 11. I mean, listen, the Democrats, the whole thing about being Democrat is that, it's all about government control and government spending and taxing people and everybody being equal. I don't want to be fucking equal, okay? I don't want to be just the average schmo like somebody else I know over here.
Don't talk about Aaron like that.
I want to be what I'm worth. And if I'm worth and I'm willing to get out here and bust my ass and take a lot more liability on and risk, then I should be rewarded because, I'm creating my wealth. So the Democrats, they're more conservative, and they don't want to make a lot of money. We don't need to have a lot of money. Only us politicians that make money. But, it's not for me. So they're being exposed. It's not that they're being exposed. It's that we're changing our whole way of thinking and doing things now on the money-making way of doing it. Think of running the country like a business, okay? A compassionate business. We still got to help the old farts like Jimmy Hart,
Speaking of busting your ass, when are you going to do another speaking engagement?
I don't know. I'm tired. Right now, I'm busting my ass on my portfolio. All right, we just recuperated from the storm. I took this goddamn house and turned it all around from the storm.
It looks great
We had the hotels down. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Plus, I'm trying to buy and sell stuff. Every day, I wake up and I'm either buying or selling $100 million worth of real estate. always negotiating. I got a hotel today. I had an inspection on a hotel for Marriott to tell me what a buyer can expect if they come in and buy it, which Marriott going to make them do. So now I know what the buyer can expect. So the buyer can't say, well, we don't know. Well, now we know, baby. This is what you're going to have to expect. And then I got, deals that I'm in contract, trying to get in contract, that I'm buying, that I'm selling. I'm underwriting deals every day. It's hard to find a deal right now, but that's what I do. So I don't know. I'm very busy, very busy. What else we got?
All right. Shout out AMC. Thank you for the super chat. 103K and a 401K and want to invest in real estate. Should I use FHA or wait for price to drop? Or what would you do? Can I consult with you for guidance?
You can consult with me for guidance. I mean, basically, listen, you got 103 in a 401K, it'd be nice and best to leave it there. Okay, because that was the whole point of putting it there. If you qualify for FHA, of course, it's only 3.5% down. Okay, so you only need $3,500. I was on the phone. The guy today consulted me. He's buying a fourplex right here in Florida. He's buying a fourplex with an FHA loan with 3.5% down. And as soon as he buys that fourplex, after we work the numbers, if he sticks to the plan we came up with, he'll make $100,000 in 1 year on a little fourplex, guaranteed, if he just goes and does everything we discussed him doing. So, listen, it's best to keep as much money as you can, socked away, stash your cash, be ready for a good deals or emergency. But if it's just to buy, what is he buying? A house?
For somebody to live
He doesn't say.
Well, let me ask you.
Huh?
He doesn't say.
I mean, if you're going to buy it, typically you're buying FHA, you're buying something to live in. So basically, you should use as much little money as you can. Okay, the whole point of today's world is you got to lowball the shit out of everything.
Let me ask, on that fourplex, what would he charge for something like that per room?
He had 4 2-bedroom apartments. Okay, he's walking into them where the rents are just way too low. He's already known what the rents are in the comps. He has like $300 to $400 a unit that can be increased just by coming in and increasing the rents when the lease is up. So all he's got to do is come in, and increase the rents, and then he'll get an extra, whatever it comes out to be, $1,200 a month, which in turn, $1,200 a month is $15,000 a year, which is at least $100,000 or more in equity. But, you're from Memphis, so I don't know about Memphis, how that shit worked out
here
there.
Are so high right now. Rents are
high. Go to Memphis. Memphis rent cheap, boy. You come down here in Memphis, we got some cheap rents.
Well,
All right, what else you got?
All right, shout out Ryan the realtor. How do you analyze a new construction duplex when there's no comparables? Do you still analyze 2 to 4 units at cap rates?
How do you analyze what a new construction?
How do you analyze new
Duplex.
Construction, like new construction
There's
property?
Duplex.
Yeah, new construction duplex when there's no comparables.
All right, it's real simple. Okay, basically, if you plan new construction means you plan on building one. Okay, what's it going to cost for you to build that place per square foot? What's it going to cost in total to build it? That's what you got to look at. Then you got to look at how much you're going to rent it out for. Okay, if you build a new duplex and each unit rents out for $1,500 a month, you got $3,000 a month coming in. All right, you know how many expenses on a duplex, especially if you make the water separately metered, okay, like the electric's going to be and the gas. Put as least expenses on as you can. Make the tenant pay for their own garbage. You should have no expenses practically except the property tax and insurance. So if you're getting $3,000 a month, that's $36,000 a year. I don't know. Depending on where it's at, your insurance could be at least $1,000 a year. And then you got your taxes. That could be another, I don't know, a few thousand a year. So basically, you're going to end up with an NOI of whatever your bills are, $36,000, maybe $30,000 a year. So what's it worth at $30,000 a year? $30,000 a year at a 5 cap in a really good area is going to be worth 600. What's that? 10 cap will be 30,000 years, 300,000. A 10 cap will be worth, a 5 cap will be worth 600,000. So yeah, if it's in the right neighborhood, at the right place, the right time, could be worth, if it was in Miami, it could easily be worth like 600,000 maybe, that's the way the numbers work. So what else you got?
Look at that. Pretty simple.
Nobody wants to call in. I want to hear somebody's voice. Somebody get on benjaminallen.com, fill out the form, and get on the goddamn phone or a phone. We're testing out his new studio. Yeah, we built a new studio. My wife kicked us out of the upstairs bedroom because we're showing the house. We're putting this thing on the market, and she's fixing the whole place up. So she kicked us down to the cabana room, baby. Jimmy got moved out from the cabana
now.
room. He moved upstairs because of the flood. So, anyway,
The
hopefully
flood
no
moved me
come.
upstairs.
Yeah, you're full of
There's
flood.
so many places. When I go back and forth to Hogan's Hangout to do karaoke on Monday night.
Monday night, come see
There's-
Jimmy at
yeah,
Hogan's Hangout
There's so many
in North
places out of
Clearwater
business
Beach.
now, Ben.
What?
I mean, a lot of restaurants are out of business over there.
Well, because they came
Really
in and they got
killed
flooded
the
out,
economy.
and they wiped out.
But who's smart? Who'd want to come back over here and rebuild once these storms come through every year now?
They don't come like that every year. They
Yeah,
came
but
once
you
every
never know.
100 years.
It's like rolling
You
the
are the
dice.
biggest exaggerator I've ever seen
What?
in my
I'm
life.
not exaggerating.
You exaggerate about everything.
Look, I'm
and
telling
then
you,
the sad
take
part
a
about
drive
it is
over
you
there.
believe your own bullshit.
you've got a beautiful hotel over there, but around your hotel, there's so
All
many
right, my
places
hotel
empty.
got wiped out. Okay, the whole first floor got wiped out. What did I do? I went in and fixed the goddamn thing up. That flood that came. Haven't had a flood like that in 100 years.
But it might come
Okay.
every year now.
We have to wait for another whole 100 years for that shit to happen. And if it happens, it happens. That's life. You got insurance, and that's life. Okay, we can't change everything in life, or you can build up. All right, make up your mind.
Or don't rent anything on the first floor.
That's right. Don't do nothing on the first floor. On first floors now, code says you can't do anything on the first floor. They make it tear down all these houses. You can't live in them anymore. Now the poor people got to build up, and hopefully they'll have enough money to do that. Down the ground level is only going to be for parking.
There you go. All right, I think we have a caller.
We have a caller. I don't believe it.
What's up, John?
Hey, what's up, Ben? How you
How
doing,
are you?
man?
How are you? How you doing? Thanks for calling. What's up?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I dropped out of school a few years ago, and then I got into real estate, started doing wholesaling, then multifamily development. I have about 100 units now, and I was curious, what do you think about leverage? Like how much leverage you should take, how much cash reserves you should have, just leverage in general, because that's something I struggle with a bit.
I mean, the point is, I could never grow without leverage. Okay. Now, you got to protect your ass. You got to know what those 100 units cost to run. You should be making money on those 100 units, right? You're cash flowing, right?
Yeah, we're cash flowing pretty well.
Okay, you're cash flowing pretty well. So that's good. Now you got to get how much cash you're sitting on, because you got to constantly look for more deals. So it takes money to get more deals and leverage together. So, you can only buy and grow as much as money you have to work with. If you got $100,000, well, $100,000 is only going to get you a loan. You only be able to buy a $500,000 property. And then you get to put the $100,000 down. You're going to leverage the 400, but it's got to make sense. Okay. It sounds like you know what the fuck you're doing. You dropped out of what? High school?
I was in medical school, so I was 12 months from becoming a doctor, and I dropped out.
Well, listen, we all go down our own path in life, if that's what you felt your calling was to do, then you did it, and now you're real successful at it, and you're still young. You could always go back and become a doctor too, now that you made all the money in real estate, right?
Yeah, that's possible. I wanted to get rich, though.
Well, a lot of doctors are rich too. You know why? You know what doctors are really rich? The ones that own medical practices and they rent them out to other doctors. But, listen, what works for you, that's great. You're doing well and you want to grow, right? Well, you need money to grow. You need to find deals and you need money to do the deals. That's what it's all about. And that's all I ever did. So I kept leveraging as long as it didn't hurt my cash flow. Okay, I'd mortgage shit to the hill as long as I knew I still had enough money to live and I still had enough money to support the property. I would take every dime I could and borrow it so I'd go out and keep doing another deal. And that's the way I did it. That's the only way I knew how to do it. I had no big money. So that's what you need to look at. If you go out and refinance and pull money out of your 100 units, how much is it going to get you in your hand? How's it going to affect your cash flow? And what can you do with that money? Because as soon as you borrow it, you're going to be paying interest on it. So while you're paying interest on it, if you don't have the deal yet, stick it in a money market at least to 5%. Then you're only paying about 2 points for the money, So
what do you think about recourse versus non-recourse debt?
I mean, listen, non-recourse is fine. There's a lot of other red tape and strings attached. You need to look at doing them both ways like I did. Look at them both ways. See what the good and the bad is in both of them, and you decide what works for you. The reason why I didn't go non-recourse was because, number one, they just had too many other, strings attached to it. Okay. I didn't like it. I didn't like the prepayment penalties. I didn't like, all the reporting you had to do. There was a lot of things I didn't care for, and I didn't need to. I figured, well, if the bank's just going to let me I put my own name on the hook. I didn't care about going full recourse. You know why? Because if I bought something, I was backing that shit up. I didn't plan. Not recourse. That means if you walk away, you're off the hook. I'm not walking away from my goddamn 20% down all the money I put into this place. Fuck that. So I never went around recourse because I didn't care. People will pay a premium for safety. They don't want to, have it hit them for the rest of their life. They can walk away. Well, there's a cost to walking away. I didn't want to pay the cost, and I didn't plan on walking away. So, but whatever works for you. Non-recourse does really work when you have partnerships. When there's a lot of people involved, then they say, well, if one guy fucks up, then, I want to be able to walk away. But it didn't work for me, but it could work for you. Like if I leave my kids some property or I want to sell my son some property, I would probably go non-recourse because if the shit hit the fan, I knew they wouldn't get hurt. Then they could walk away from, whatever I gave them. So it's up to you, whatever works best for you. But you need money to make money. You know that. So you need to get out there, get enough money, find another 100 units, and that's what you got to do. Okay.
Okay. I appreciate it, Ben. I really like your videos, man. Really inspiring.
Right,
Thanks.
you watching. Thank you very much. Are you know where you from? I forgot. That's all right. I know he wasn't from Tennessee. And I know he wasn't from.
Hey, do you still do those one-on-one conferences?
One-on-one.
How do they get a hold of you for that?
BenMallett.com. Consult with Ben. You can do it on the phone. You can do it in person. You can meet my hotel. You might even be able to come on the boat if you want. I'm selling the boat, by the way. Ding, ding, ding. I'm going to post it when it goes live.
You did sell the boat?
No, I'm selling it.
Oh.
I got it picture perfect. I told the captain on everything done on that boat, so it's picture perfect. We're selling it, but we're all going to use it this spring break. You coming with us? No, I got to be here. I got to go sell beer. I got to do karaoke. I got appearances all over the country.
It's according to when it is. You always tell me the day before. I don't think you really want me to go because you always let me know the day you're leaving.
Because that's the way I live my life. I'm sorry. I'm leaving Sunday night. You want to go?
I won't be here.
You won't be.
I'll be at NASCAR up in Las Vegas.
NASCAR.
Promoting, yeah.
Number 47 car.
There you go.
Ricky Steamwood Jr.
There you go. Selling. What are you selling again?
Real American beer.
Real American beer,
Number
brother.
47 car.
Well, I wish you and Hulk Hogan much success on the beer.
Well, thank you.
I think you need to have one of those beers. You
Thank
lighten
you.
up a
I
little.
might have two.
Yeah.
Maybe a
What
root
else
beer.
we got? Anything, Aaron?
Yeah, shout out FL Cam's Pizza. Congrats, you won a New York style pizza from our shop in Port St. Lucie. Moved from New York last year. Maybe we can open one in one of your plazas.
Let me tell you something right now, and I'm being serious, okay? You need to go to benmallett.com. You need to get in touch with us because I've got a pizza location that it's just printing money. If you come to our shopping center in Lake Mary right now, Griffin and Midtown, look it up online. We got no fucking pizza. We got every other kind of food there. We got no pizza, and we got 300 apartments right on site. And it's a really high-class neighborhood. Not the kind of neighborhood you're going to see a bunch of Jimmy Hart fans in. It's a nice, classy neighborhood. So you need to get a hold of us and look it up and see. Maybe we can make a deal. I'll work with you. You work with me. Okay, but we're screaming for pizza delivery, takeout. You don't need a big place. You'll kill it over there. Kill it, baby.
Why don't you open your own pizza place?
I ain't got time to run no fucking business.
Well, you don't have to run it.
You fucking couldn't help me. I noticed that. You ruined me in 2 bars already. All right, I want nothing to do with running a business.
Oh my God! Listen, you were
All
making.
I want to be is the landlord. Give me the fucking rent, and I'm out of here.
We had over 3,000 people
I'm in
every
collections.
weekend for Hogan's Beach over there, at Rocky Point.
Yeah, and it drove me fucking nuts.
Over 3,000.
Got me in trouble. Got me lawsuits. Got me everything.
Please.
People got killed crossing the fucking street because you had too many people there and drinking and all that bullshit. It was a horrible experience for me. All right, I didn't want to be involved with that shit. You give people a bunch of alcohol and you expect them to act right. And you're over there juicing everybody up.
I didn't sell the alcohol. I was in charge of entertainment.
You ran the mechanical shark.
I was the host.
Yeah, you were the host with the most.
I was the host.
What else we got?
All right, shout out Noah's Nation. Thank you for the super chat. Ben, I'm 19. I have 160 grand in cash and 2 duplex lots, 66 grand each. What am I doing wrong? And what should I do to invest into real estate? What are some steps?
Did he say he's got 2 duplex lots?
Yeah, 66,000 each.
Well, the point is he owns them.
Yeah,
Listen,
it looks like.
If you got 2 duplex lots, what are you going to do with them? They're just sitting there doing nothing right now. All right? What are you going to dirt farm and go to Memphis, Tennessee?
Yeah.
You got land. You got to do something with the land. Either sell the shit if you can make some money on it or try to build on one of them. Okay? You got 160 grand. If the bank won't give you a loan, find somebody that they will give you a loan as a co-signer. All right. You got the land already. Now you got to find a contractor that's not going to rip you off and build a duplex. Okay. I don't know where you're at. You need to go to benmal.com and consult with me. We got to talk about where you're at. Maybe you can do modular. Maybe I don't know what kind of neighborhood you're in. I've picked up the phone and ordered fucking duplexes before. Okay, I picked up the phone to a factory, send a duplex over to his address, and they would. They send a guy over, he'd set up the foundation, he'd set up everything. It was a turnkey deal, and it was great. I had 2-3 bedrooms to rent out. I don't know. Maybe you needed stick built, maybe you needed concrete built, depends where you're at. But listen, if you got land, work that land. All right, it's sitting around doing nothing right now and ain't generating shit. Or sell it if there's a profit to be made in it, if they're worth 100 a piece. I don't know. So, but if you got the land, you already got something to invest in. Start investing in it. If you got to build something, it's going to cost you at least, I don't know where you're at, could be $150 a square foot, $150 a square foot, 1,000 square feet. I don't know. It's going to be 150 grand a unit. It depends on how many square feet you build. You could go up to spending 300 grand the goddamn
I mean,
thing.
he has 160 grand cash.
If you go out and get a construction loan, you already own the land, maybe the bank will give you a loan. You need 300 grand to build. Maybe they'll give you the 300 grand because you already own the land. I don't know. You got to go to the bank. You got to find somebody who can help you at your age to make it happen and get things cooking, and you got to get contractors to build, to give you a bid on what it's going to cost. You need engineering plans. You need architectural plans. You got to spend money to make money. That's what you got to do. You got the land. What else are you waiting for? Go build on the goddamn land.
If he was interested, could he do a land lease, or is that not really a thing for that small of a lot?
Land lease for that, no. Land leases are more commercial. Commercial property, like my hotel's got a land lease under it. That kind of stuff. He needs to either build, sell it, or do something if you own land. There's no point in sitting around looking at the land. Ooh, I owe me 2 duplex lots. Big fucking deal. You ain't making no money on them. It costs you taxes every year, and you got to mow the fucking lawn. Like Jimmy used to have to do every day.
Let me ask you this. You have an office over there that you're renting out, right?
Where?
Where Little Ben and Vince
top floor is empty. You want to rent it?
Why not just buy your own place and have your own?
I don't rent. I own that building. It's a
you own
condo.
that? Oh, I thought.
And the upstairs is empty. I want to rent the upstairs out to offset my expenses on the downstairs. Or I might just sell it, make them move into a smaller place. We might move them into your room.
You own that whole complex over there?
No, the condominiums, condo offices. I own approximately 5,000 square foot section.
Right.
Okay. Everybody has an address. My address. I own that address and I own that building. The interior, the outside's maintained by the condo association. They just put new roofs on it. They just put new siding on it. And I just have to take care of the interior of it. But I'm thinking about either I need to rent it or I need to sell it. You should talk to your WWE friends, see if they want an office up there.
I don't like the location.
You don't like nothing. Bullshit. It's right across from your favorite restaurant, the fucking Italian place. What's it called?
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden. What else can you ask for?
I like Carrabba's too, though.
Yeah, you like everything. You're pasta eating. You like pasta because it's cheap. You like eating cheap food. Cheap. I like pasta and salad.
Well,
but then again, listen, for a guy that's 90 years old, this fucking guy is in excellent condition. I've never been in his shape when I was even 40, 30
81, not 90.
Whatever. I mean, what do you think? I've been having a lot of trouble dealing with that now. Getting old. I've been
it's
thinking
all in
about
your
this.
mind, baby.
We all gonna expire.
You got to get up every day and be enthusiastic, man. Look at this. You got a beautiful home here. You've got a beautiful location. You can get up,
I'm moving.
Take a deep breath. You look at the ocean. You got a pool out there. You got a bowling alley.
So
I mean,
big deal.
You should be the happiest guy in the
Is
world.
life about a fucking
You've got 3 or 4 hotels. You've got property all over the place.
To a fucking bowling alley and an ocean view.
Well, you never go bowling.
But we're all going to expire.
You never go in the ocean.
We're only going to be here for a little while.
Every time you get upset over something, you buy a boat.
One day, Aaron's going to be here and I won't. Okay? That's a fact. That's a fact. How long? I don't know. 5 years, 10 years, I don't know.
Well, don't forget.
In your case, I mean, you've
don't
been here
forget,
a long time.
Aaron's here with the Pickle sisters, too. They live here.
Yeah.
So they're all here.
And you won't be here either, Jimmy. Fact of life, we'll be gone, dead and buried.
I know it. You're
leaving
leaving
me.
me.
Buried? Or you want to be cremated? Which one? I don't think you can be cremated with that hair.
Yeah.
I don't think the hair will burn.
No, I'll take the hair off. I want to make sure I can.
We have to shave you before they burn you.
There you go. I like it.
You want to be cremated or buried? Tell me now so I know if I'm still
I want
alive.
to be cremated.
You want to burn?
I want to be cremated,
I'll
spread
do that
over
right
the
in the
ocean.
fucking
in the back.
fireplace here. We'll
I
do it
wanna
in a
be over
fire
the-
pit.
I want to be over
Chop
the back.
them up, put them in a fire pit. Let's
wanna-
watch them burn.
I want to be over the ocean so I can always look at the
I
place
can
where I
take you out
used
to
to live.
sea. You want me to take you out to sea and put your ashes in the sea?
Yeah, please.
Then you can feed the fishes. And
Yeah,
all
but
the
you won't
fish
have
will
a
be going,
boat. How am I-
empty me hard.
How am I going to go out? You're selling the boat. I won't be able to go.
I know you'll be dead, but you'll be with me. You'll be in the edge can.
I know, but you're not. You think,
All right,
how you
enough
gonna
of death.
throw it
I've
out?
been thinking a lot about getting old. It's really depressing.
I know, but
You
don't.
know, I
You
feel
look
like,
great.
what the fuck am I doing?
I
I'm
think you
working
look
every
better
day.
now than
Why
you've
am I
ever looked.
working? When am I going to enjoy life? You
You
know?
look great.
All right, what else we got? I'm talking about going off for a
No, where are
tour.
we going? Oh my God, I'm dying. What the hell?
You got nothing, do you?
No, I do. I got plenty.
I got plenty. I want to talk about the Florida condos. Anybody out here interested in Florida condos?
Well, Jay, thank you for the super chat. I'm thinking about leaving Texas. I currently live in Prospers, Texas, paying $18,000 a month in my primary home.
Whataburger, Texas.
I'm thinking of moving to Sarasota or Venice for a quality of life. Maybe you could buy a condo. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to talk about, condos. Okay, here's the story on the Florida condos. I don't know if anybody's heard about it, interested. All right, the big thing is this. I'm going to break it down, okay? It's a good time to look at condos. You know why? But there's things about them. It's mainly the older condos, okay? They had a big building collapse a couple of years ago. And, the thing is, the older condos, they need to be brought up to today's standards. They need to be protected from the weather. They're in really good locations. But they're old, and the homeowners association needs to do all this work, and they got to raise money because it takes money to do all this shit. It ain't cheap when you start messing with foundations on the goddamn waterfront. Okay, so basically, the problem is a lot of these poor people that live in them, they bought them many, many years ago, and they can't afford a big goddamn hit on the homeowner association to assessment to improve the property. So unfortunately, a lot of them are just saying, you know what? I'm done. I'll go find another cheaper place to live or whatever, and I'll just sell it and take the money, So it's a good time to buy them, good time to look at them, but you got to know what the assessments are going to be to upgrade them and extend their lifespan and all that good stuff. But, now's a good time, I think. I mean, I keep telling everybody, and it's starting to trickle in. It's time to low ball. The deals are coming. Okay, I know they're coming because I know personally banks that have recently sold, like a blink of an eye, $1 billion worth of loans off their portfolio. You know why? Because the loans are coming due soon. And when the loans come due, the property ain't going to qualify to be readjusted to today's interest rate. It's impossible. If the guy went out and borrowed money at 3.5% or 4%, he's got to pay 7% now. He can't handle it. They goes, your cash flow, the property is devalued. So the banks are selling off a lot of these loans that are coming due because, they're just staggering it because the loans that are coming due soon, get rid of those loans, okay? Because when they come in and see that those properties aren't worth what the loans are, then the bank's value goes down, okay? The bank is only worth what the collateral is worth that the loans are made on. So, I'm telling you, it's happening. There's billions and billions of dollars worth of loans that have already came due, and a lot of the big shot non-recourse CMBSs, which I've never seen before, are playing the game extend and pretend. They've been extending the loans, which I've never seen with CMBS, and they're pretending that everything's okay. But now they've moved to delay and pray. Okay, they're praying that the friggin' rates are going to come down and these properties. Now, rents have gone up somewhat, so that's helped the situation. But there's a lot of bad debt out there. And they're keeping it a real big secret right now. But sooner or later, they have to get rid of these fucking loans that are just overdue. That's the story.
The condo
And you got to
that
get out there and lowball shit. There's a lot of guys out there that teasing you. They're putting shit on the market at a high price, but then they're offering this great loan that you could assume in my world. Well, unfortunately, yeah, you can give me a loan for 4.5% or whatever, but in 18 months or a year, that loan is up, then I'm screwed because then I'm going to go to 7 or 8%. So, you got to know now's the time to lowball.
Was that the condos in Miami you were talking about that collapsed a couple of years back?
Yeah. All over South Florida. It's real big in South Florida mostly than anywhere else. But, there are deals to be made because the point is that if you did have the money to pay the assessment and you buy it cheap enough, you have some upside in the deal. If you go out and buy a condo for a couple of $100,000 and there's an assessment on it for $50,000, and you got to pay that $50,000, so now you're into it for $250,000. It's a very strong possibility that unit could be worth $400,000 after that building has those modifications done to it. All right. So you got to do your homework. You got to do the comps. You got to look at everything. You know, you didn't see the video. My friend is selling his condo in at 55 plus. Maybe I'll buy it for you, Jimmy Hart. You want to move to Delray Beach?
Where's that?
It's right near Boca, baby. I find you a nice old rich Jewish broad. You'll be living like a fucking king out there. You make it big in the rich neighborhoods in down South Florida.
Maybe I'd be the.
I might be able to set you up, but I heard that my friend, his mother's in the same place with the lady who made the pies.
I could be the
What
wedding
was the famous
singer.
pie lady? Frozen pies. Sarah Lee. I could get you married to Sarah Lee. I want to broker. I want to get some money if I can set that up.
There you go.
So listen, 130 grand. I buy this condo. I'll finance it for you, and you live in it, and you'll be living in a fucking place with tennis courts. You play tennis? Swimming pools, pickleball, restaurants, bingo, your favorite. Bingo, baby.
Bingo.
And you'll have women flocking all over you every day. You'll be the prince. You'll be the king of the gray hair club.
Can I do karaoke?
Hell yeah, they'll love you over there.
Karaoke.
All right, what else we got?
All right. Shout out Steve-O. Thank you for the super chat. I have 450 grand in equity, make $4,000 a month, house hacking in New York, and see Ohio homes for 50 to 100K with Section 8 potential. Think this is a smart move? What should I watch out for?
I'm not that fast anymore. All right, he's got a 450K in equities. He ain't got it in cash. He's making $4,000 a month house hacking. Hacking. I don't understand. How does he make $4,000 a month house hacking? House hacking, I thought was what? You buy it, you rent it. Oh, that's what it is. You buy it and you rent it. So he's got $4,000 a month house hacking. And what does it say? Ohio.
He sees cheap homes in Ohio, and that could be Section 8 potential. And he's pretty much wondering if he should go to Ohio and buy these cheap homes. That's what I think.
Listen, if the numbers work, the numbers work. All right. The point is, if you start buying up shit in Ohio, are you going to manage it living in New York? I don't know. You know, you got to go to Ohio, look at the house, see how much money needs to be put into it, see how cheap you can buy it, find out what Section 8 is going to pay for rent. That's easy to do. And then see if the numbers work. Is it worth the cash flow? Yes. If you go to Ohio, and I know you can, you buy a house for 60 grand and you throw about 5 or 10 into it, you're in for 70 grand. Will Section 8 pay $1,200 a month? I don't know. Maybe if they will, then yeah, that's a good deal because you're going to make like $500 a month off that house, at least, even if you finance it. So, you know, go do your homework. And yes, a lot of people go to the poorer states like Ohio and Tennessee, except Nashville, and they buy shitty houses. They rent them out to people, fix them up, rent them out Section 8, whatever, guarantee you rent, and they do very well. That's how I got my start. My whole career was based on doing what you're talking about doing. Except I did it in Oakland, okay? I buy up the cheap houses, I fix them up, I rent them Section 8, I refinance them, I get my money back, and I'm still cash flowing, baby. And then I roll into the next deal. And I keep rolling and rolling. Rolling. Keep the booty rolling. All right, what else we got?
All right, thank you, Christine.
I need
for
a
the super
cigarette,
chat.
God damn it.
You should be familiar with this one. Should I put my money in CD money market or mutual funds?
Ooh. Mutual funds are like stocks, okay? And you're taking a risk. You put it in a money market at 5% today, you know what you're getting. You know, every month you're going to see 5% annually divided by 12 in your bank account every month, but you will be paying tax on that interest, okay? And whatever your tax bracket is, in my case, 37%, you will be paying unless you got something to offset that losses. Or what I do when you start accumulating, you know, serious money, I go to tax-free municipal bond funds. They pay monthly and they're totally tax-free. So every month you get X amount of dollars put in your account, tax-free, and or you could buy into bonds themselves, but then they only pay out twice a year. I like the monthly payments of the bond funds, and the bond funds are controlling billions and billions of dollars. They know what the fuck they're doing, and they're pretty stable, and you can leverage against them. On the bonds themselves, you get much higher leverage if you want to borrow against them. But go to benmallow.com, get me on the phone, and we talk serious about how much money you got and what it works best for your situation.
Yeah, tax-free muni bonds. And those, though, doesn't it tie up your money for a certain amount of time?
Tax-free muni bonds are basically a loan. If the government comes out, let's say a county comes out, if the county around here, Bel Air, city of Bel Air, says, hey, we want to build a new water plant, they're going to raise a bond. A bond is nothing but a fucking loan. They're going to take a loan from the public and they're going to sell off pieces of that loan, shares. They're typically sold in $100 increments or $1,000 increments. Okay, so you're going to buy 5,000 shares or whatever, or 5 shares is 5,000, and you're going to just be loaning money to the municipality, but it's tax free because you're loaning the money to the municipality. And if you can't trust a fucking municipality, then who can you trust? You know, the county, the city's backed by the county's backed by the state's backed by the government. It's all one big machine. Okay. So they're not going to let them borrow the money unless they had the revenue to pay it back anyway. They get revenue from property taxes, they get sales taxes, they get all kinds of shit. And they're also rated. I bought a bond today. It was for a hospital, county hospital in Orlando, and it's paying me like, I don't know, 4.7 or 8%, you know, basically, and it's tax free. You know, so I bought it, and there you go. You forget about it, but they're only going to pay out twice a year. The bond funds will pay you monthly, or put it in the money market. It's safe. 5% right now. Give me your money, Jeremy. Give me your money. I'll put it in the bank for you. Give me your money. Go up there and cut that fucking mattress open.
Have you got change for $1?
You got 2 10s for a 5?
There you go.
What else we got?
All right, what should we do about home insurance increases in California? Should we raise rents to cover it?
I mean, typically, you know, the rents do go up when your expenses go up. If you can get away with renting it, not lose a tenant, then yeah, you know, the tenant should have to absorb the cost. But you definitely need to shop around. I'm doing a renewal on a master policy. I was told that the rates are coming down. California, I don't know, after that fire. Here in Florida, they're actually going to bring the rates down because the insurance companies found out that they screwed us so bad and charged us so much that a lot of us are decreasing our amount of insurance. And a lot of us that don't owe money to the bank are saying, you know what? I'm going to self-insure. If something happens, I'll take care of it. I don't need your goddamn insurance. So, you know, insurance companies saw a loss in revenue. So now they're lowering the rates, and they're not big, fat, greedy pigs anymore. And they raised the rates only for one reason. The reason why they stuck it to us with the rates, Jimmy, is because they making us pay all the money for the storms that they had to pay for. See, when they get a hit, okay, the money, they may put the money out right then and there, but they're going to get that money back. Why? Because they're going to increase the goddamn rates to get that money back. Insurance is the biggest game in the world.
What about our car insurance?
Car insurance.
Even if you don't have a wreck, your insurance goes up every year for the wrecks everybody else has.
I don't know about that, but
like
all I can say is when it comes to insurance, it always pays to shop around. All right? It always pays just to know what the market is. You might want to talk to different insurance brokers if it's a house, and you can go online and apply to and see. You know, you can always raise your deductible. If you raise your deductible, it's going to lower your premium. That's a fact. Okay. Where we live, you got to have wind. In California, man, you need just fire. And I don't know if you need earthquakes or not, but, you know, I don't know. But you need to get a bid on it, and you need to shop around. And you need to see how high of a deductible you could swallow. And is it worth getting a higher deductible to lower your premium? You need choices. You got to make choices in life. What else? That's it. We're done.
Hey, Ben, I'm getting on 6-figure settlement from a lawsuit soon. I'm looking for an active money manager. Where can I find that?
6 figures, only 100,000. Is it 100,000 or is it 900,000? I mean, typically, you know, it depends on, you know, you really can't trust them to run it. You know, you got to decide what is right for your life. You know, it's just sitting the money, tax-free bonds sitting there at 5% tax-free. Is that for you? You want a little risk in your life? You want to invest in tech stocks? I mean, you know, typically, you know, I would stick to people that, you know, you feel comfortable with. You got to interview them. You know, you can go to a million different brokerages. I deal with Merrill Lynch. You can go with Merrill Lynch. That's what they do for a living, you know, and but they don't control the market. And they got no crystal ball. Let me tell you, my account, I gave some money to my wealth manager recently, or a while back, and they did really, really well. I mean, why? Because the market did well. All right. Everybody did well. They weren't brilliant, but they just did what everybody else is doing. And the market's going up in tech, and they all got into tech, and the market went up. But now tech took a hit. All right. That's life, you know, but you got to see what your tolerance is, and you got to make sure the person understands your needs on what your future is and what your plans are. And, you know, it has a lot to do with it. But you go to Wells Fargo, they got a wealth division, B of A as well, Lynch. Every bank, you know, big bank has them. I wouldn't trust no little guy. Okay. I would definitely go with the big boys because, they pretty much going to do the right thing because they'll screw up their reputation if they don't. A little guy, you can get a little reckless and a little, and don't give people control over your money. Make sure that whatever they're doing, you approved and you understood and you authorized. Okay, because you start letting other people touch your money, you don't know. You can lose money very easily. So be very careful and make sure you like the person and make sure that person's concerned with your, finances, your future, and your life. It's not just, it's not that simple. Or open up a TD or whatever they call it, Schwab account, and you could play with it yourself. But I wouldn't highly recommend you don't do that, like Aaron wants to do.
It seems like the most people that get beat out of money is the family when they have their family handle the affairs.
You go with people that have they can prove to you how much money are they currently managing. Okay, I think my money manager is up there in the mega billions. So I can imagine his commissions. Holy shit. And then, also, find out how much they're charging you to manage your money. See, that's the beauty of muni bonds is that you buy them and there's nothing for them to do. So there's nothing for them to charge you for. You just open up an account and you say, okay, go out and buy me a muni bond. They'll make a few bucks when they buy it. And that's the end of it. You don't really need a managed account. Depends on the assets. If they're going to constantly be buying and trading and selling and all that shit, then you got to pay them a fee for their time. But otherwise, if you buy instruments, the money just sits there. But for right now, I would just stick the money in a money market account at 5% or in any big bank. All right, it's sitting there, it's safe, it's getting 5%, it is taxable, but then take your time. Don't just turn your money over to somebody without doing your homework on them. And there's a way of looking up a broker check. It's very easy. It's the simplest thing in the world to look up a broker and make sure that there's nothing against his license. He hasn't had no claims against him. I've had to go after and sue a guy because he fucked me up years ago at Morgan Stanley with my account. And he turned the shit out of my account. He didn't lose me any money really, but he just kept buying and selling and buying and selling. Why? Because he was racking up fees. He was making money on me, but I wasn't making shit. So, that's the story. What else?
What up, Ben, Jimmy, and Aaron? This is Huggy. Miss y'all.
Huggy Bear, 3 feet tall. That Huggy?
Yeah, Huggy. Yep.
Huggy, have you grown any? How are you? You still working the aquarium? Huggy was working in the aquarium. They should have put him in the tank. That would have been funny. I think he was working in the garage.
Fish bait.
But I hope you're doing well. I think Vincent keeps, talks to you, doesn't he? But don't be a stranger, Huggy. Let's go out and we'll buy you a kid's meal.
All right. Shout out Stealth. I'm 15 and want to do real estate investing in the future. What would you recommend I do to learn?
Wait a second. Huggy was a midget wrestler.
He was.
You want me to put you? I'll tell you what. I'll invest the money. I'll get an RV like the guy that passed away. We really liked. Remember what was his name? What was his name?
Hey,
Johnny.
You can't say midget anymore. You got to say little people.
You could say it when you talk about wrestling because wrestling nobody cares.
I'm just telling you.
It's the bottom of the barrel.
I'm just telling you.
Anyway, do you want to have a midget wrestling?
No.
Why not? You'd be great. You'd be back in the game. Being what would you
I
do?
think
before?
Johnny, the guy who had it before, did a great job on it.
I know, and you could. I'll go out and get you the
Micro.
RV.
He had micro.
I'll find you the old Partridge Family bus, and you can load them all up, and you can drive around the country doing midget wrestling. How about that, Jimmy?
Hey, you can't say midget anymore. You're gonna get
All
in
right,
trouble.
You just said it.
No,
said
you
I
did.
Can't say it by saying you said it by saying I can't say it.
I was saying what you said.
All right, little wrestlers. How about that?
Little people.
Small people wrestlers. Little people wrestlers. Okay. What else?
Well, what should this 15-year-old do to learn real estate? Because he wants to do it in the future. So what should he do now?
I mean,
to set himself up.
The problem is, until you're 18, legally able to sign contracts or do anything. I mean, you can get, you can start preparing for your license if you want. There's only one course. You can study the hell out of the course. You can study the hell out of the test. You just can't take it till you're 18. Or you got to find somebody with some money that can get a loan, and can execute contracts and buy stuff. You can look for deals, but you're going to have to find a money guy to back you. It's like when we all start out, we all got a money guy, you gotta just, if you found a person that can help you execute the deal, then you start looking for deals, spending their money, and then you get a piece of it. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You just gotta, legally for you to buy something, you gotta be 18, and legally for you to get a sales license, you gotta be 18. So graduate high school, get your sales license, get that going, cooking. And in the meantime, think of somebody that is willing to invest in real estate, providing you go out and find a deal and you got a plan for it. That's what you do.
I like it.
Go to Memphis.
And remember, if you get sick, eat fruit.
All right. What else? Anything else?
Yeah.
One more.
I don't care as long as you got it, fine.
My commercial loan company is asking for a 25% owner split upon sale profits of my 8 townhome new development. Is this fair or is this standard?
The commercial loan company is asking for a 20%,
25%.
25%
Owner split.
What? They're not partners. What the fuck is that for? Did you sign anything saying that? Loan companies are to loan you money. All right. They loan you the money. You make the shit happen and you make the profit. They get the investment, the interest on what you agreed to pay them on the money they loaned you. That's why you go to loan companies and you don't take on partners. Sounds like they're trying to do some partnership bullshit. I don't know if you sign anything on your loan documents to that effect, but I never heard of that. The banks don't get shit when I borrow money from them. All they get is the interest I guaranteed and promised to pay them. You know, when you sell a shit, it's supposed to go with you, unless they're talking about you buying down the loan. That could be a possibility, and that could be in the loan documents. They want you, as you sell the units off, they want you to pay back 25% of the profit you got to buy down the debt, so you owe them less money. That could make a lot of sense, and that's very possible. But as far as them just making 25%, that ain't heard of. All right, so you need to go to benmal.com and consult with Ben and find out what the fuck's really going on. And read your loan documents.
Ben, is this show going to be on every? You're going to have a podcast
I don't
every
know.
Wednesday
We're testing
night,
it to even
regularly?
see if it worked. You know, I got a poll lock here. I don't know if the shit works or not.
Every Wednesday night.
I
Right?
donated everything I could. I gave him furniture. I gave him a room. I don't know what else to
But
do.
we got to have a backdrop. We got to have a theme
Backdrop,
song.
backdrop.
You got to have a theme song. You got to have a big backdrop behind you that says Ben Mala. What do you want
All
to
that
talk about, or
showbiz
whatever you
crap.
call the show?
You stick to showbiz. I'll stick to helping people and educating them. All right, we're not here to really entertain people. We're here to help people. Okay, to make an impact in people's lives.
Well, you always do that.
You know, you want a good laugh, go watch Jimmy Hart on YouTube or on TV and
There you
enjoy
go.
yourself. And it's great entertainment, watching guys beat the hell out of each other while Jimmy goes around yelling and screaming. That's fine. I love it. But, you know, we're here to do serious business, like the picture down there. You see that picture down in front of my desk, Jimmy?
I like it.
It's about guys doing business.
I like it.
What else?
Big business.
You got any more chats? If people give you money for following, you got to fucking give people something for their money. You can't just take people's money, you thieving communist. What?
Whatever you want.
All right. So what's your tips for a 24-year-old working in a car dealership, making decent money? What should I put my money into? CMA, Roth IRA, 401k? What should I be doing?
401k is for retirement. If you're 24 years old, not ready to start worrying about retirement. You're worried about making money to make more money. Okay, I was just buying a car the other day for my nephew, and I tell these car dealers the same shit all the time. All right, hopefully some of them will listen to me. If you can sell cars, you can sell real estate. Except with real estate, you can do whatever the hell you want. You make your own schedule. And the same people you're selling cars to, you could sell real estate to. I tell the boat dealers that too. If you could sell everything. Okay, so think about selling real estate and cars. Okay, and then a lot of people that you're selling real estate to, you can sell cars to. And you could sell them everything. So, you know, but stash your money right now in the bank. I don't know how much, you probably ain't got a whole lot to work with. So just put it in the money market for 5% and stash it as much as you can. And then when you get enough to find a real estate deal, then you start putting that money towards a down payment. Go get pre-qualified for FHA financing, or unless you could do a conventional loan, find out what your down payment is. Find out how much you qualify to get a loan for. You could get your qualifications lined up before you even buy something or look for something. You know, but you should definitely try to sell real estate and cars, because, you know, a lot of people that are buying cars, the next thing they're going to buy is a house. Okay. And a lot of people that are buying cars already own houses and may want to sell their house. And if they like you, then, you know, you're going to be it. You're going to be the guy that helps them with everything. People love that kind of personal attention. You know, that's how Brooklyn Mike makes a goddamn fortune, going around telling people, oh, I'll get you this, I'll help you do that. He'll help you do anything you want. He gets people roped in. He's buying them. He even plans their vacations for them now. He's crazy, but he makes money off of that. He gets a commission. All right. What else?
All right. Have you done any storage unit deals? What's your thoughts on storage? Love your content. A lot of people over here in Scotland tuning in.
Scotland? Oh, Scotland Yard? I never understood. Scotland's not England and Scotland's not Ireland. It's somewhere in the middle, I think. But they all wear dresses, right? You know why they wear those kilts? You know what a kilt is? You know what a kilt is?
Roddy Piper wore one.
Yep, there you go. One of your biggest stars that you
Big
managed
star.
wore a friggin' dress. May he rest in soul. He's dead now, right? Yeah. And
was
he seemed like a
tough.
nice guy.
He was great.
He seemed like different than all the other guys. He seemed like he was
great.
nice, you
Piper
know?
was awesome.
So basically, but do you know why they wear those kilts?
Easier to go to the bathroom.
Wrong. It's so the sheep can't hear the zipper when they're coming near them.
There you go.
It's a weird place in Scotland. Anyway, the point is, what does he want? Scotty?
Storage units.
Storage units. Storage units are great. I never owned them personally on a level that I could ever really talk about because it was very minimal if I did have them. But if you own a storage facility, they're really good if it's all about supply and demand. If you have one where there's a demand, typically urban areas are really good for them. If you go in a very populated area, people don't have a lot of room, they need to store shit. That's where they make their money. You go out in the fucking boondocks, yeah, you got all these storage units, but they're half empty. Who needs them? The storage units are great. It's all about supply and demand. It's very cheap construction to build because all you're doing is building boxes and cages. I've seen a lot of people convert empty retail into them now. Just installing the cages inside of a big box. I mean, it's all about, is the demand there if you just keep it full because they're very minimal to run, especially with today's technology. You give people 24-hour access. You got cameras, you got key fobs, you got all this stuff. So you can manage them very easily with very limited management. And there's nothing to maintain because you ain't got shit to fix. You just got to keep the place clean and keep it secure. And, nobody's living there. So that's great. Except you lived in a storage room once when you were like a hurricane or something happened. You spent the night in the storage room, didn't you? Because the power was out everywhere or some shit.
I went over there. I had all my.
Oh no, he just fell asleep one day in the storage room.
I had my memorabilia there, and I wanted to make sure it was safe because there was no security cameras. So I was afraid somebody might get some of my memorabilia.
That's it.
And so I made sure I had a nice little
There you
flashlight.
go. You brought some food, a flashlight, and you spent
Had
the
it
night.
all, baby.
So anyway, the point is this. You can make money at anything if the numbers work and it makes sense. Okay, storage business is huge, but it's got to be in the right location. Maybe they can take a lot of these office buildings. They don't know what the hell to do with now because of technology and all that. And, maybe they'll turn those into storage facilities.
Here, this is a good question. How do I beat the leasing agent of an apartment building when I'm looking for a new place to rent?
How do you what?
So how do you negotiate and beat the leasing agent of an apartment building when you're trying to find a place to rent, like trying to find an apartment? Like the average person trying to find an apartment, how could you negotiate with a leasing agent?
By beat? Is he beating a leasing agent that he wants a new
As in
apartment
price, negotiate.
Listen, if the apartment building has vacancies, okay, there's a very good possibility that you can negotiate a lower rent or a concession. Okay.
What's that? What's a concession?
Concession means that if you rent this apartment, we're going to waive your security deposit, maybe because you got good credit. We do that all the time. Or we're going to give you the first 3 months rent, baby, or half a month, whatever. You can ask, but it all depends about supply and demand. Is there a big supply and you're in demand as a tenant? Then yeah, you got a little wait. You can try to negotiate. If there's not, then you got to pay what they're asking because they don't really need you. Everything in this world is based on supply and demand. Okay. So, you can try and, and you can negotiate. Like right now, if you go to my building called the Hatton House, if you're 55 and over looking for affordable housing, Uncle Paulie's sitting there ready to make you a deal, Jimmy. I'm going to set you up with an affordable housing unit in a beautiful town, in a beautiful country, and he's going to give you some free rent if you sign a lease and move in. Okay?
How many miles from Tampa?
Who cares? You ain't going.
Well, how many miles?
I don't know, a couple of hundred at least, probably.
Woo! Oh, my
God. Take a plane. Fly on Frontier.
I don't think they have an airport there.
We got an airport. You go to Tallahassee, it's an hour away.
Oh, my God.
All right. So anyway, you can try. You can always try to negotiate, and see what you can get out of them. What else? Anything else? We're done? You dead? You got questions? What?
Let's do one more.
All right.
Some person paid money. You can't just...
20 people.
Huh?
There's 20 of them right now.
Did they pay money? Well, you can't rip people off.
I remember
You know,
you
we're
spoke
not that
about.
kind of channel.
I remember you spoke about investing in REITs with Starwood Capital when looking for a car. How does that work? Do you get monthly 10% and can pull your money out whenever? Do you still recommend it?
When you invest in Star Capital or any other REIT, it's like buying a stock. Every day, that stock has a price. Okay. So you do have the opportunity of it gaining and going up in price and making money on the value, but he pays a dividend. I haven't looked at it lately, but excuse me, I can tell you he knows what the hell he's doing. He bought almost 100 million from me, and he's been doing a lot. He's a smart guy out of Miami. So basically, it's like buying a stock. That's all you're doing. But yes, you should be getting paid monthly, whatever the dividend is. He pays a dividend every month. All the stockholders get a per price for dividend per stock. So whatever it is, if the stock's $10 and he's paying a $10 dividend, and you get $1 a year on that stock divided by 12, it's 80 cents a share. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. And that's it. But real estate investment trusts, are a great way to invest in a big package of real estate, typically run by people that know what the hell they're doing. What else? Come on, faster, Aaron. Go.
All right, hey Ben, I bought a 600,000 quadplex in at 19. That's worth between 975,000 and 1.1 million, South Florida. Today, appraised by bank. I can borrow 1.2 million from another quad at 5% down. Should I use my own cash or should I use my equity?
Okay, how much equity? Well, how much cash he's sitting on? He doesn't say.
No, it doesn't say.
Well, you're not
he
giving me
said
all the
he can borrow 1.2 million from another quad.
Listen, if you can borrow money, that's what I did. You borrow against one property to invest it in new property. All right, and then you just keep doing that. But you always make sure that banks typically aren't going to let you borrow too much against the property. So yeah, you can tap into that property and get some of that sweet equity out of it, baby, and roll it into another deal. But you better make sure the new deal is good. It sounds like you know what the hell you're doing. You got all that equity in a property. A quadplex is only, how many units are in a quadplex? How many? Say it.
4.
Very good. I forgot where you come from.
I'm in the world of wrestling.
Houses.
I'm not in the world of buying and selling and
buying and selling.
losing money and making money.
You never had a quad wrestling team? What do they call
money,
it?
Losing money.
What do they call it with 2 wrestlers, or a tag team, or what?
Tag team. And
then what happens if it's 3 wrestlers?
That's a triple threat match.
What about 4?
That's a quadruple threat
match. There you
match.
go. So it's the same thing as wrestling. Quad. It's all the same. Quadplex, quad match. There you go. All right. So basically, borrow the money and use the money on the equity, but make sure, or maybe you can take a line of credit against it and only use what you need and not pay interest on it until you use the money. But, I always borrowed. I don't want to tap with the money I got in my pocket unless I had to. I'd rather make the property pay for it. Make sure you protect your cash flow. What else?
Hello, Ben. Longtime viewer. My fiance of 12 years bought everything from me, and in the process, I gained 120,000 in the bank. Should we buy land now, hold, and build, or build now and rent the single family?
Should we buy land now and build, or build now and rent the single family? Listen, typically, I'm going to tell you my opinion. I've never seen single family homes ever really, very rare occasion, where it pays to especially build them and then rent them. All right. They have all these big build to rent complexes now, but you're not going to make a lot of money off of one goddamn house and one rental, because your cost of building a house and the money you're going to borrow, by the time you pay the taxes, the insurance, the mortgage, the principal, and any maintenance, you ain't cash flowing that much. Very, very rare. Okay. And it could be that much. So, I don't know what to tell you. I would not, if you're going to build a house, you might want to build it to flip it, because that's where you can make some money. If you have the right land at the right price and you have a contractor that's not going to screw you over, and you know what the house is going to be worth after it's done. I mean, flipping houses is more of the thing. When you start getting into rentals, you really want to build duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, and then go further. So I wouldn't, I don't know. That's the thing.
What's the worst that could happen if I put my investment property into an LLC without the mortgage lender knowing?
I don't think the bank really cares if it's a single member LLC. The banks don't care. You're on the hook for that loan personally. Okay. And a single member LLC, all it is like some sort of protection that if something goes wrong in your life, you can only that LLC can be sued. Put it this way: if something happens to that property you got an LLC on, and they want to sue you or come after you, they can only go to the LLC. They're not going to go after you outside the LLC. The LLC is just a layer of protection. That's all it is. And the banks already understand that a single member LLC is what a lot of people do, especially for income properties. That's when you do it. You don't typically do it for residential or owner occupied, and it's just a layer of protection. Okay, that's all it is. So I don't think you can tell the bank and putting in an LLC, they don't care. You list it as an LLC on your tax return, you pay your tax, and everybody lives happily ever after. You're personally signing for that loan, so they don't really give a damn.
I own a Choice Hotel in Canada, brand new, built in 2017, and we've been doing really well. What is your take on the future of the hotel industry?
I mean, listen, hotels are just like everything else, and we own half a dozen of them. It's all about supply and demand. All right, location. If you're in a location where there's a demand for hotels, you're going to do well. You could pick you could pick a lousy neighborhood, you ain't going to make shit in a hotel. You pick a neighborhood that's got a demand for people coming in and staying in and having a need for it, you're going to make money if you run them right. And I happen to be a big fan of Choice lately. I've been doing a lot of deals with Choice, and they're very easy to work with, and and they seem real good to work with. So, keep doing what you're doing. Maybe you could find the best thing for you is if you could find a hotel that's maybe not in great shape, like an old mom and pop style with no franchise on it. You come in, you tell Choice, come on out, take a look at it. How much do I need, or what do I need to do to it to make it a Choice hotel? And then they'll tell you, and you figure it out. Does it pay to buy this place? Fix it up to be a Choice, and then be part of their family. And but it's all about location. All right, it doesn't matter. You can have the nicest hotel in the world. If there's no friggin' demand for people to come there and stay there, it's a total waste. So it doesn't matter how, it's all about location and demand.
Seems like the hotel business is risky.
Everything's risky in life. There's risk in everything. I couldn't sleep last night thinking about, is Home Depot going to renew their lease with me? That's what kept me up at night. Because if they don't, then I'm screwed. Now I'm sitting here with a friggin' $15 million building that's going to be empty. I got to pay the taxes on. Ooh. And I got to find another tenant for it. There's risk in everything. Yeah, and then when a hotel is not real estate, a hotel's a business. You lived in all my hotels. But you got to be there 24 hours a day. You got people coming in and out. It's a business.
But before you purchased the Home Depot, didn't you realize how many more years they had rent going guaranteed?
Well, at the time, I thought it was a really good idea because I was deferring a lot of tax by buying it. And I had a lot of time left on it. Now I'm getting down to the time where I've owned it for 7 years or 6 years or 7 years. And I'm saying, oh, shit, my term's getting up. And I hope the hell they renew the goddamn lease, because if they don't, I'm screwed. And nobody's going to want to buy it from me now because you got a lot of term left. So, these are just part of life. It's part of managing a portfolio and the risk and everything. There's risk in everything. Okay. So what are you going to do? That's life. That's when you're in business.
Could they come to you and say, we want a better deal than what we've had before?
Yes, they can negotiate. They can do all kinds of shit, but that's the business we're in. At the time, it was a good investment to me, and now the time's getting short. Hopefully it's going to go back to being a good investment. All right. What else? Now it's just scary. What else you got?
All right. I am a student graduating with an MSRE looking at jobs. What do you think starting?
Masters in real estate, MSRE? Is that what it means?
I guess so. I'll look it up. Looking at jobs, what you think starting on the debt side would be smart, or should I try to work for a sponsor?
I mean, if you graduate college with a master's in real estate, typically the kids I know, or kids, whatever, men I know, they go do that. They typically go in and work for big companies, like big, what's the word, syndicates. And, a lot of guys go to Wall Street because they do a lot of real estate stuff there, where, equity companies that are buying up real estate. You need to go out there and apply. I would start at the highest level, because if you start with like the guys that are actually, finance is all part of it. Some of them you can learn the real estate part of it, the underwriting. Well, underwriting comes with finance. The lending is the key to real estate, making deals, learning about the market and being part of underwriting and making big deals. But it's up to you. I mean, what part of real estate you want to go into? With a master's in real estate, you can go into property management. That's a big deal. You could open up your own company one day and make money off of managing other people's real estate. That's how I started in the business, managing other people's money. And I didn't have a master's. But anyway, you can go. I'd go to New York, and if you really want to know kids and guys that went to New York and and find the jobs with them, they're looking for people like you with fresh degrees so they can train you and mold you to do what they want you to do, which is really good for you too, because now you're being trained how to do things their way. And these guys are, a lot of these guys, they join a team, and then, eventually after a few years, you can make $1 million because you're part of a team where you start sharing in the deals that close, and you get a piece of the fees that they charge when they help put deals together for people. It's major shit. New York City is the place to go if you really want to get into that. I've seen kids do it, and they make $1 million a year, and they're happy. But there's a lot of aspects of real estate you go into. You got to go into something you feel like you fit into. Me, I fit into management. I didn't fit into the finance. I didn't fit into sales that much. I fit into the management, controlling shit. So just start it. You're gonna start at the low, the basic level, and just rise up whatever you choose.
Ben, going back to that Home Depot. Why don't you? And I know we talk about it all the time.
Bugging me already. Now you want to stick the fucking
no.
knife in
I'm just
and turn
asking you. Going back to Home Depot, why spread yourself so thin? Why not go get one hotel, one shopping center,
blah.
I mean, have 4 or 5
because
things.
I'm not a one fucking guy. Okay.
Yeah, but you're not.
I got 25 properties to manage in a portfolio. That's how you get to this level.
Yeah, but it's more stress. More stress too, though.
Well, I'm trying. What do you want from my life? Stress is part of life. I've been doing it since I was 20-something years old. What am I doing it for? Like over pushing 40 years now. Now I'm at the point where I'm going to scale down.
Yeah, but look how much
my kids stress.
But you got so much property out there right now. How can you scale down?
Listen, I'm buying and selling every day. I'm selling every day. So I know.
Yeah, but you sell, then you buy. You sell and you buy.
It depends. If the buy is going to make us more money to help pay the tax or benefit the family. Listen, I can't sit here and explain to you what it takes to run hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate. Even if we had the rest of your lifetime, I don't think you'd ever get it. I'm sorry.
No, I wouldn't. No, you're not be sorry. I wouldn't get it. I don't understand why you don't.
Explain it to a person like you because you're in a different world. You don't understand, because you never tried to do anything on this level. You've been an entertainer.
I know, but you got 5 cars out there. You can only drive one at a time.
Those cars don't mean shit to me. Who cares?
I know, but why keep buying the cars when you're only going to drive one?
You lie, and you lie more. You take everything and you exaggerate the shit out of it. I got a fucking Bentley.
One.
Okay, that I have. Okay, and basically, me and my wife and Aaron, we shared a convertible Rolls.
2.
Okay, and then he needs a car.
He's got a car. That's 3.
Well, what is he going to do? We're going to share the same fucking car?
3.
He has to have a car. Carl's got to have an SUV to slip kids around. Alani's got to have a car.
5.
There you go. There's our cars. That's
6.
a normal fucking way you live.
I think you're leaving out a couple of
You
cars.
got one car.
You're leaving out a couple of cars out there.
No, I'm not. I got a couple of trikes and a jet ski.
I know you got 3 trikes that just sit in the thing in there.
I drove them the other night.
And a jet ski that sits over
there.
there.
You live the way you want to live.
I'm just asking.
Okay,
you're stressed out. I'd like to see you stressed out. You're stressed out.
Well, I'm going to try to unstress myself by going on
You
my
said you
boat.
couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep last night worrying about Home Depot. I'm trying to make you so you're able to go to sleep and not buy so many properties that you can't ever sell.
It's life, okay? It's life. You got to deal with it. You got to make your bed, and then you got to lie in it, okay? Just like you've done all these years, all right? You jump around like a fucking jackrabbit all over the goddamn country, bouncing from plane to plane, sleeping in different hotels, living like a fucking gypsy. I couldn't do that. I'd go fucking crazy. But you do it. You get up every fucking time you got to leave this house. I hear you. The lady talks on the alarm. It's 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. Exit door opening in the guest house. Why? Because Jimmy Hart's got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, go to the fucking airport, park his car, get to the plane, and be ready to fly at 6 o'clock. That's not what I would do. I would trade my life for yours in a minute. You chose your life. I chose mine. But I got a lot more to show for it than you do, buddy.
Well, we love you. I just don't want to see you stressed out. I just don't want to see you stressed out.
All right.
We love you.
Aaron? What else we got, Aaron? We got to take money. We got to give.
I run a luxury leasing brokerage, BMW, Mercedes, Porsche, Rolls Royce, etc. How do I target more high net worth clients who value their time enough to pay us for home delivery and negotiating services?
Turo. I used Turo. It actually worked out great. Eric set us up with Turo. The guy met me at my private plane. I got off the plane. He had this beautiful SUV ready for me to go. I used it. I brought it back. He met me at the airport, and he was half or a third of the price of a fucking car rental place. Listen, you got to find your clientele. All right, so you got to get your service and your market. You got to market it. All right, you got to find where the people that have a need for. The fuck is that? Helicopter. Oh shit! They're looking for you, Jimmy. We can actually hear a helicopter. All right, so basically, find your market. Where do people need your services? People that are visiting. I don't know. Where do they need your services? Go to places like where do they do all the big car shows? All the big rich guys. They fly in. Maybe they want to rent a nice car. Meet them. Get a hold of Meekum. Advertise with them. What's the other one? All the big car auction guys, they have the big thing in Arizona all the time.
Barrett Jackson.
Barrett Jackson. Go find a clientele of people that like nice cars. They got that kind of money, but you got to be somewhere they're coming to. Like Miami is a big thing. A lot of guys do what you're doing in Miami. Okay, but you got to market it. You're going to need to get with the people that are in that circle. There's another guy. There's a guy I think who just told me. I don't know. If you go, I don't know where you're at. That's the problem. If you're in Miami, then you're gonna have to get in where all the big shots are that know how to book the clubs and book the cars, and they're like concierges. All right, get other people to sell it for you and give them a little piece. But Turo, baby, Turo. What else?
I'm closing Friday on a rental house I sold. I bought for $300,000 and sold for $520,000. I messed up. I didn't do a 1031. What can I do with my $200K? I'm 54 and I have a short lifespan.
You say you're closing Friday. You can still do the 1031, I think, if you just go to a professional that does them, a real company that does them, or ask the title company if they can do it. Okay, you could do it. But basically, you bought it for $300,000, you sold it for $520,000. All right, so you got a profit of $220,000. But what about commissions and closings? That comes off. But even if whatever, you got $200,000 in capital gain. Okay, so $200,000. If you owned it over a year, it's long-term capital gains tax. Okay, so the $200,000 is going to probably be taxed you somewhere around neighborhood of 20%, depending on your income bracket. So $200,000 at 10% is 20. You're going to pay $40,000 to the feds. I don't know about your state. I don't know what state you're in. Okay, so screw it. You made yourself a couple $100,000. If you got to pay the government $40,000 of it, so be it. That's life, unless you got something to write it off against it. Or hurry up. Tomorrow's only Thursday. Go get on the damn email tonight and ask the title company. I really want to start it. I want to put this in a 1031. But let me tell you, all the money that goes in that damn closing has to be put into the next deal. And you're going to have to buy something for at least $520,000, or minus your cost, $500, whatever. It's not too late. I think they can do it. It's just a matter of filling out the damn paper. Okay. As long as you didn't close yet, that's the whole ticket. So otherwise, you have to pay the $40,000. So what are you going to do? You still did well, and you made yourself $160,000. Congratulations. All right. What else you got, Aaron? Come on. Somebody give you money.
Yeah. Hey, Ben, what's your take on the current residential real estate market? I have a little money saved up and looking at this fixer. I'd buy with hard money. I'm in San Francisco Bay Area.
San Francisco's a tricky town. It's very all about location there. If you know for a fact that if you buy this place and you fix it up, it's going to be worth more money, then what's stopping you? Okay, then do it. But, if you're buying it to fix and flip, you better be able to handle carrying costs of all the, everything you got to pay. You got to pay the goddamn hard money guy. You have to pay the taxes. You have to pay the insurance, and then you're going to fix it up. You better have a budget. Make sure the numbers work. But, absolutely. San Francisco is always going to be a hot place, but, you got to make sure you're getting a good deal. You got to buy it knowing that, you have a plan that's going to be, work out the right way. Buy it, fix it, sell it. But you got to make sure you don't get into it too much. And, so, there's always going to be a market for places to live in San Francisco. The place is always going to be overpopulated. Just make sure that you do your homework and know your comps. What else?
Buying a multifamily, basement has a kitchen and bath, but not legally rentable. Is there any way to take a foot out of a basement to make it rentable? Any things you recommend taking a look at before money?
Listen, some places could allow you to have what they call a non-conforming unit. But in a situation like that, you got to consult with an expert. I don't know what area you're in. You need to consult with an expert and say, listen, is it possible? Because the laws have changed a lot lately, especially here in Florida and California, where they're allowing you to add on to properties extra space, like in-law units or an extra unit. There might be a way that you can get an engineer, an architect to draw it up and get approved by the city. Find out for sure that, is there any possible way I could add that unit down below in the basement? Okay. I mean, can you rent it out if it's in decent enough shape? You better make sure it's safe and there's a way out for fires and all that shit, but, there is non-conforming in certain areas. But the point is, if you want to really get the value out of it, you got to do it legally and correctly. And you need to do your homework and make some calls and find out from professionals that, yes, we can draw up some plans. We can make this into a real unit. Yes, the zoning allows for it. And we have all the proper, stuff set up to windows and exits and all the different things that come into code and, code. So, see if you can do it. It don't hurt to look into it. It costs you nothing to ask somebody with just the address. What else?
I owe $0 on my home. I want to take out a loan to do some foundational repair and convert 2-story garage into a 2-bedroom living space. Should I put it into an LLC first, then flip?
I mean, if you plan on living there, you're doing it to your own house.
Yeah, but
all right. If you live there, typically, your residence, I mean, you don't really need an LLC. You got proper insurance. An LLC, all it does is give you some protection that nobody can come after you personally outside of that LLC. They sue the LLC and it stops there. It's supposed to be, so basically the LLC, if it's a house you live in, I don't think it matters much at all, but you got to make sure that you got liability insurance if you ever start renting to anybody in case they get hurt or, something happens and they sue you. Okay. But, and even if your own home, you need to have liability insurance in case somebody comes over, or gets bit by a dog or so whoever the fuck knows, slip and fall, liability insurance pretty much covers you on a house. Okay. And that's what you do. But I think it's great if you can expand the house you have and make it worth more money, and you're going to do it with the bank's money. What else can you ask for? Take the bank's money, improve the value of your property, and then there you go. Hopefully the money you'll get from rent will definitely pay the bank and your cash flow, and you're doing great. In-law unit. What else?
I'm jumping into tax deed auctions here in Texas, planning on trying to owner finance at 10%, do some long-term, something simple for the wife to carry on. Any tips? What's your thoughts on tax deed auctions?
I didn't do much tax deed auctions, okay? Because I don't know. Are you actually getting the property? Because they got tax sales, they got tax deeds. Are you just buying the tax bill right now and paying the tax bill? Typically, my understanding is you're paying the tax bill, and then eventually the time runs out where that person can redeem it, and then they auction off the property, and then you get your money back with the interest rate that you were guaranteed. Or you can have an opportunity to bid on it yourself and buy it. If it's a tax deed sale and you're actually getting a deed, then you're basically just buying it like an auction. You're buying the property because you think you're buying it at a cheaper price because it's a tax deed sale. You can have the money up right away. And typically you can't finance anything like that unless it's a hard money guy maybe you got a relationship with. And you can make a lot of money if you buy it right. It's all about buying stuff right. If you're going to buy a house that's worth $200,000 and you're only getting it for $150, then you made yourself $50,000 at a tax deed sale. Happens all the time. So, good luck, but it's basically for flipping. That's what it's for. Otherwise the deed, if you're just buying a tax deed, I don't know. It depends. Are you getting a real estate or not? Okay. That's what matters. And if you're getting a real estate and you're bidding on the real estate, then you need to make sure you're buying it right. All right. Because a lot of people do overpay and they say, what the hell I did that for? I just overpaid for this place. It ain't no more than I paid. What was the point of that? I've done it myself, I think, somewhere down the road. All right. What else?
I bought a Texas 222-acre ranch.
Yeehaw!
On SF Balloon in 2023 for 3.7. Subdivided and sold all tracts for 6.15.
That's brilliant.
I'm-
That's great.
I'm struggling to find the next one. Any suggestions?
Well, I think that's the point, finding the next deal. That's what it's all about. You hit a home run, you bought that big piece of land, you chopped it up, and you sold it in pieces. That's what brilliant people do. It's like a pizza pie. If you buy the pie, Jimmy, by the slice, it's going to cost you $3. If you buy the whole goddamn 8 slices, you're only paying $15. Okay, so if you buy the big piece and then you slice it up like a pizza, you double your money most of the time because you're selling the smaller piece for a higher value. Why? Because you got so many more buyers that wanted just a little piece. So this guy was brilliant. He took 3.7 million, he turned it into 6 point something. He made himself $2.5 million, but now he's got to find the next one. Can you do it again? That's the question.
But what about the market now? The market's a lot different than evidently when he did it before.
He must know what he's doing. He did it in Texas. You do it where you know it's going to work. The beauty about real estate is you don't need a fucking crystal ball. You know what the market is because you can see what other properties are selling for. But a lot of times people go out and buy big tracts of land like this brilliant guy did. He chopped it up and he made himself a couple of $1 million because he knew he could sell it off. There's a market out there for it. He knew that. And now he's got to go out and find the same big chunk of land and do it again.
But it's going to cost more for that land now, though.
I don't know. You got to find a good deal.
So won't that eat up the extra money he made?
Well, he knows he's got to pay X amount of
around.
dollars to be able to sell it for X amount of dollars to prove that he's going to have a spread. It's called a spread, baby. You got to have a nice spread there because the spread is what you eat.
I think I just take the money and run.
He wants to do more. Let me tell you something.
But the market's
you don't
different
understand. Making money for a lot of people, unlike yourself, which I'm not criticizing you, it's an addiction. Okay? Because when you make that money, you feel like, you know what? I made this shit happen. I made this money. I didn't work for somebody telling me where to go and what to do. Get on this plane. Go over there. Go do this. I created wealth on my own, and I did it. And that's what he's doing, and he's hooked on doing it, and he's ready to do it again. And there's no reason why he shouldn't do it again. There you go. All right. What else?
All right. Reach a settlement after a 3-year lawsuit for $1.1 million. I own a home in California with a wife and 2 kids. Wondering if we should invest in an Airbnb or another home rent out current. What? Or another home rent out current. Or put into a mutual fund.
I mean, basically it depends on your life. Okay. If you got a settlement after waiting 3 years, you finally got $1 million, then, number one, you own a home. Do you owe money on the home? Is it going to help you to buy down that debt? I don't know. If you buy another home, especially in California, you said it's in California, right? You're not going to cash flow on a house by renting it out. All right. I never seen it happen. Okay. Maybe you can, but I don't think so. Okay. So, Airbnb, you got to be careful with. Airbnb blew up and now it's kind of shrunk down and leveled out. So Airbnb is just like anything else. Supply and demand. Can you buy a place that normally rents in the right location for a couple of $1,000 a month on an annual basis? And instead of doing that, Airbnb it at a couple of $100 a night. Yes, you can do that, but you better make sure. You better make sure in that area that there's not a lot of Airbnbs available, and you better make sure you keep that sucker full, and you better make sure you can rent it out at a certain rate. Okay, and then you got to deal with all the headaches. You got the cleaning, you get a booking, you're going to hire somebody to do it for you, you got to pay them. There's a lot of things involved. Owning an Airbnb is like owning your own business, okay, because you're basically in the rental business. You're in the hotel business. You're just doing it on a very small level, which is fine, and it can make money, but it's got to be in the right location with a proven track record that it works, so it's all supply and demand. Or the mutual fund, I don't know. Mutual funds are pretty much, they go up and down. You want to play that game? You can. Plenty of people waited it out, made money in mutual funds. Plenty of people lost money. It all depends on the fund, and what they're up to. You can just stick it in the bank for right now and get $50,000 a year in a money market and forget about it until you figure out what you want to do or find the right deal. You could go out and buy a muni bond for $1 million and then sit back and get $50,000 a year tax free, or put it in a muni bond fund and get paid monthly 5% tax free. It's up to you. What's better for your life? But if you want to grow, you need to go out and find a really good deal. because that million could actually buy you 4 million if it was leveraged.
Hey, Ben, let's do one more and wrap it up for tonight.
What about the people that paid?
I mean, they keep coming.
Well, and we ain't going nowhere because we don't rip people off. We're not all these other gurus. You want to leave for a file? Get the fuck out of here. You started this shit. Now finish it. What do you got, Aaron?
All right. Are you guys looking into industrial real estate? Do you see growth in this sector due to Trump policies?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Are you guys looking into industrial real estate?
Industrial.
Do you see any growth, especially with Trump?
Honestly, I've never done real industrial. You know, a lot of people make money out of it, but you don't know what the hell you're doing. I mean, you know, you got to know, like, if you're gonna buy something and know that the industry that's going to be there is going to be there a long time, or if you know you can buy an empty place and rent it to an industrial. I mean, it's a whole nother sector of real estate that I've never really done. But you can make money in anything in real estate if you buy it right and there's a demand for what you got as a supply, okay? Or you can fix something up and make it worth more money. I mean, but industrial, I don't know, but you better be careful because you don't want to get stuck in no big-ass place. You know, I know that and most data centers and stuff are all brand new construction. So you can't just have somebody come fill it up with a bunch of computers, you know, and they need a lot of power and they need all kinds of AC keep the computers cool. So I don't know. Industrial is great if you have a good tenant. It's all about the tenant. If you got a good, strong tenant paying your rent when increases and the company grows, then, you know, everything should work out great. But, you know, buying something and having to rent industrial, that's risky because you got, you know, I don't know how easy it is to fill a goddamn huge industrial place. What else? Get a broker that's an expert and only sells industrial real estate. And also leases it. If you don't lease it, then he ain't good enough to sell it, in my opinion. If you can sell it, he better be able to lease it too and help you every way you can.
I own a successful insurance agency that is my main income. I have a real estate agent license. Should I sell real estate part-time or focus on my main business 100% and forget about real estate?
Listen, whatever makes you the most money, okay? You know, if you can grow in your insurance business and you know what you're doing and you can get more clients, I mean, let's face it, okay? I know what the game is, you insurance guys. You rope a guy like me in. My insurance guy has been with me for 20 years, and every year we just renew. All he's doing is once a year, he's got to renew my policy, and he makes at least a couple of $100,000. Seriously, it's the way it works because it's, you know, that's what the beauty about selling insurance. You sit back and you build up what they call a book. And then all these people just keep renewing. In the long term, you make a lot of money off of somebody. Or if you have a passion for real estate, do both. Try it out in real estate. What kind of real estate? You want to go residential? You want to go commercial? You want to go, you know, whatever you want to do. Give it a try. If you got the license, put it to use. Because the people you sell the real estate to, you could also sell the insurance to. Okay, so there you go. You should be working it because they go hand in hand with each other. Every insurance client you have is a potential client for real estate, and every real estate client you have is a potential client for insurance. So do them both because they go hand in hand. What else?
Hey, love your videos. I'm a small business junk removal and dumpsters rental in Broward County. Would love to
Broward
offer my
County.
services and schedule a call.
He's in the dumpster rental business. All right. Well, what's the problem?
You ever have a problem? He was
Offer
saying
my service. You want to offer my? I don't have nothing in Broward right now. You know, I used to have a big hotel there, but we sold it. Right now, you know, and after the storm, we really don't have much use for dumpsters. I mean, here and there, but not much. But I appreciate it. Unless you know, and out here, the garbage is controlled by everybody. It's all territorial. You know, so you're not talking about garbage. I think you're talking about bringing a dumpster, having a 40-yard sitting on my property. I fill it up and you take it away. I mean, yeah, it's great. And you know, you need to look for more customers too in Broward. There's plenty of action going on there. But unfortunately, I can't use the services in Broward, and we have very little need right now. We're past the storm. We use the shit out of them in storms and damage, but, you know, thank you.
Is it a good time to hop into a SFR project?
Single-family residence?
I believe so.
Yeah, single-family residence, right. Listen, it's a good time to get into anything if you buy it right. I don't know. It's simple. It's common sense. You got to buy it right. I don't care what you buy. If you're buying it for less than what the value on the market is, then you're making a deal. And if there's a way of buying something that needs value add to it, whether it's management or repairs, anything is good to buy. You got to do your homework and make sure you're buying a deal with some fat on the bone, something you can build some equity in. You got to lowball the shit out of stuff, and it's frustrating when you get rejected, and it's frustrating when people don't want to come down in the price, but that's it. Nothing comes easy in this life. You got to earn it. So put the time in, find deals, make offers, and get them at the right price.
Ben, is it harder now with the stock market flipping back and forth to find good deals, or is it better now?
Stock market got nothing to do with real estate, in my opinion. I mean, the stock market is a stock market. You invest in companies when you buy stock market. You're invested in manufacturing. You're invested in Tesla. You invest whatever the hell you want. But real estate is something that you get your hands dirty. You're buying a tangible physical asset. It's up to you to make it worth more money. It's up to you to control it and run it. When you buy a stock, you buy the fucking stock. You have no control. You got no say. You got nothing. You sit back and you hope the company does well. The stock goes up, and we all live happily ever after. That's for people that just, they want to invest their money, but they ain't got time or effort to put into something. Real estate is work. It's just like a job. It's like you got a job. We all got jobs. But in this job, it's up to you how much money you make in real estate. The harder you try, the better the deal you make, the more money you're going to make.
What about the Bitcoin? Have you invested in it?
I haven't invested in Bitcoin. It's still too new to me. A lot of guys I know made fortunes in it, and God bless them, and great for them. Little Ben told me to buy it when he was in fucking high school for $1 or something, and I didn't do it. It was 1 for 1, and now what is it? 100,000 or some shit.
Yeah, but no matter where you go, nobody takes it. You go to the gas station, you take Bitcoin.
Still new. It's
you
still
go,
new.
But how new? Right. If you told him when he was in high school to invest, it's not new.
Yeah, but I can convert it to cash. There's a lot of ways that you can just simply press a button on a computer and have it, and get it converted to cash. It's a market. It's like a stock. It's no difference in a stock, Bitcoin. Okay, you're buying it at a price, and you're hoping it's going to be worth more by more people coming in and buying it.
Technically, it's a commodity, but that's the cool part about it.
It's a commodity, but it still bounces around like
a stock. Yeah, of course.
It's not like
of course.
$1. $1's a dollar.
It's just interesting
How much
that
a dollar buys is a different story.
The government and you can look at it as the same category as gold, silver, because the government considers
gold
it a commodity.
Fluctuates too. It's an investment. If it's the kind of investment you believe in and you have faith in, and and then you go for it. But it hasn't been my cup of tea. I like cash because the banks aren't loaning on it, to my knowledge. All right, what else? There are ATMs that take it now. There are hotels that are taking it, and I'm looking into it. Bitcoin, baby. We're gonna have a Jimmy Hart Bitcoin, the Jimmy coin.
All right,
put hearts on it.
About to take my real estate exam in California. What is some advice you would give if you would do it all over again? Would you go residential or commercial?
You got to have a passion, okay? If you want to go around showing people houses to live in, then you go around showing people houses to live in, okay? And if you want to go commercial, it's a whole different ballgame. You're going to get around a lot of guys that you can really learn a lot from and get into some big, big deals. I know commercial brokers that I started with 20 years ago, and I don't know, they maybe making $100,000 a year. Now they're multimillionaires. I mean, it's up to you. If you have a passion and a real interest in apartment buildings or shopping centers, then you go to work with a firm. You hang your license with a firm that's making money, and you become part of the team. You want to join a team because eventually a lot of team players get old and they move on, and you step up into their position. And then the more you're there and the more deals you're doing, the more money you're making. You're part of a team when you sell real estate. You can do houses too. It depends where you live. Listen, if you're in South Florida and the cheapest goddamn house is $1 million for a piece of shit, and you're going to make $30,000, even split the agent commission, and you can do one a month, you're going to make $30,000 a month flipping a house to an average person, then you do that. You can try your hand at both, but I'd say you focus on one. So this way you'll do your best at one. But there's all types of real estate. But you got to work with people that are making money already. Don't waste your time with a real estate license being around people that aren't making deals, closing deals, listing deals. Those are the ones that are cashing the checks at the escrow.
All right, I came to the U.S. 10 years ago, and now at 30, I own 32 single-family properties with solid cash flow. I'm ready to level up. What's your best advice for scaling from here and becoming a big boss like you?
Okay, you got 32 single-family properties, a good cash flow. And the problem is this, I don't know. You either got to refinance and raise money. You can easily go out and find apartment buildings all day long. Okay. You got to have the money to down payment. That's going to control how big of a deal you got. If you ain't got no money, you're going to have to tap into the equity in those 32 single family homes and raise some equity to go out and buy a deal. But, raise the money and find a deal. If you can do 32 goddamn houses and you only been here 10 years and you're only 30 years old.
Yep.
Holy shit. No wonder everybody comes to this country. So, the point is, what's his last name? Martinez, Latin. Okay. Not Polish, sorry. But anyway, the point is this: get the money and find a deal. And if you could manage 32 freaking houses all over the place, single different properties, then imagine having 32 units in one place. That's going to be a piece of cake compared to 32 all over the board. But definitely do it. Get the money, find a deal, lowball the shit out of them, and find a deal that makes sense. Something you can raise the rents in and manage and maintain. What else you got, Aaron?
All right. Let me see here. I work for a builder that specializes in short sales on Long Island. What knowledge could you possibly give me before I attempt my first deal? Short sales.
Listen, you're working for a guy who's a builder. He specializes in short sales. Okay. Everybody know what a short sale is? You know what a short sale is, Jimmy?
I'd like to learn.
Okay. Basically, a short sale is when somebody is selling a house, but they owe too much money on it. Okay. And they can't sell it for as much money as they borrowed. That's what's getting ready to happen. You're going to see a whole shitload of short sales coming if interest rates don't go down from all the people whose time ran out. The problem is typically a lot of these people that borrowed money at a really cheap rate, they took out long-term 20 and 25 and 30-year loans. So you're not going to see houses really that much, but you'll see some. If they took like a 5-year ARM where they were only fixed for 5 years and then it went to an ARM, they're going to see those. The point is this: if you can't pay the fucking mortgage, you got to go to the bank and do a short sale. A short sale means that they're going to get short. They're going to take less than what they were owed on the property. If the bank owed $100,000 and the guy can't pay him anymore every month, and the bank wants their money back, well, they're gonna have to do a short sale, and they're gonna have to take less. Maybe they'll take $80,000. Maybe they'll take 70. Who the hell knows? The point is that the guy's gonna walk away with nothing that owns the house, but he's gonna pay the bank back on an agreement that they're willing to take less, and that will help him in the future. After a couple of years, they might forgive him. It's not as bad as bankruptcy, but it's definitely gonna put a ding on you, but it'll go away after a while. So short sales are great ways to buy property when you can find people that are over leveraged. Why are they over leveraged? Because the market changed. The house used to be worth $800,000, but now it's only worth $600,000, and he owes $600,000, so he has no equity. That's the market. It's a life.
So the bank takes the hit.
The bank will take a hit. They'll write it off, and the guy walks away free and clear. You get a property at a discount, and everybody lives happily ever after. If you can do a short sale and you know you're going to make money on a house, then do it. Why wouldn't you? If you got the money to do it, you're working for somebody doing it, then do it. And then, if he's a builder too, building can be very lucrative if you find the right land and your construction costs are not ridiculous and it makes sense. And you do that too. You do everything you see other people doing. That's what I did. I watched the guy that raised me when I was young. I saw what he was doing. I did what he did, but I did it better. And I did it bigger. He didn't want to go that big. That's fine. It's up to you.
Did you do any short sales?
I've done plenty of short sales. I've helped friends with short sales. I got a friend across the street. I helped him with a short sale. I think he made $1 million on that house right across the street from here.
Was that the one we looked at that time?
Yeah. Okay, next. What else?
All right, getting ready to do my first 1031 exchange with $1.1 million to spend. What's the best type of property to go after? It's my first $1 million purchase.
Well, number one, what do you have experience in? What did you sell? That's the question. You always want to stick to what you know. You start branching off into shit you don't know and you get your ass handed to you. And it's almost happened to me a couple of times, and luckily, thanks to helping my kids and whoever, I was able to bail myself out and do all right. But the point is, stick to what you know and make sure whatever you're buying is at the right price. If you just made it, you got $1 million in a 1031, you must know something. It's up to you. What can you handle? It depends on your life. Do you want a small income property? You want a big income property? You can take that $1 million and go out tomorrow and buy a $4 to $5 million deal. Depends where you're at. If you go to Alabama, you could buy a whole lot of shit. You go to where you from again? Memphis. You can clean up and buy all kinds of shit.
Tennessee, Alabama, Texas,
whatever. It's up to you where you live
cheap
and what
land.
opportunities are out there. But what works for you? Okay, that's what you have to think about. How you going to manage it? Can you fix it up if it needs work? What rights? You have to fit yourself in the right position. What else?
In high school, planning to become a spec home developer to invest in real estate. Should I stay in South Florida or move to Dallas?
I mean, it doesn't matter, wherever you go, but you're going to have to work under a builder to learn how to spec build. Okay, you're going to have to learn all that stuff. You have to learn about the land. You have to learn about the building, the construction costs, the architectural, the engineering, all the stuff involved, the labor, the subs, the materials. I mean, it's a lot to learn. But once you learn it and you can do it, you'll know whether or not something's going to make you money or not. Okay, so, go to work for people that are already making money at it. Don't waste your time being around people that ain't doing it. All right, you got to get in it to win it. South Florida, if you get a job with a developer there or a spec home builder, great. But typically in South Florida, there's not a lot of land. So it's not really homes. It's more like condos and apartments and things that go up. If you want to build homes, then Texas is probably better off, and because there's always a lot of land in Texas. And, that's it. Find somebody that's doing it and get a job at the entry level and learn every aspect of that business as you can.
Ben, let me ask you, don't you think shouldn't it try to build stuff now because of all the tariffs that are coming in, because everything's going to be a lot more money?
Listen, before you do a project, you got to have a budget, and you got to have a contract with or put together a budget with a contractor or whoever you're using or doing it yourself. What is it going to cost today to build it? Okay, you got to do your homework. How much is the labor? How much is the materials? You can easily go online and call places and find out how much whatever your wiring is going for, your studs are going for, your sheetrock's going for, your siding, your everything. And then you have to make a decision. Is there fat in the deal? If I go through the trouble of building this place, can I sell it for more than I paid to build it? That's what it's all about. Prices go up and down all the time. You have to do your homework before you start saying, I'm going to do something. And you got to lock in those prices. So this way, if the prices do go up, you're locked in. Lumber yards do it. Everybody does it. Even Home Depot will do it. You go to the bid room. What else we got?
Hey, I'm 22 from Ontario, Canada. Any advice on how getting started in Canada? Recently diagnosed with neuro condition and just wanted to get started and make money.
Recently diagnosed with what?
Neuro condition. He wants to get started in Canada.
Well, Canada's a different world. Very expensive, and the taxes are a lot higher. I've never done any business in Canada. I've dealt with a lot of Canadians, and they could be a pain in the ass if they're from Montreal. But it is what it is. I mean, I don't know what your physical, are there any disabilities that you have to consider in your physical condition? But if you have the desire to try, then you should try. But you're only 22, and Canada ain't cheap, so you're gonna have to have some money. But I'm sure if you find the right deal, you either got to raise the money from somebody else, or get it put together. I don't know how much money you can borrow at 22. I don't know what your income is, but if you find a deal, you can always find somebody that's willing to invest in a deal if it's a good deal. So find a deal. Go, if you ain't got the money, go find a guy that does have the money or a hard money lender. And if it looks like a good enough deal to them, they're either going to steal it or they're going to back you and do it. But, if you try, you will succeed. I guarantee it. You just got to do your homework and make sure you're buying it right. It's all about buying shit right. It's like anything else, a car, a boat, a house, anything. You buy it for less than you feel the market it was normally going to pay. What else?
Hey, Ben, I bought a rundown Quality Inn that's underperforming comp set by 50%. After renovations, how can we attract more guests? I bought it for 2.6 and plan on doing a 1.5 renovation. Should I reach out to Happy?
Happy's very busy. Oh, no, Ben, I have too much work to do. I cannot help anybody. I can barely help you.
I'm cooking my Indian
I work 20
food.
hours a day.
My Indian food. I'm here. Cannot have it. No.
Anyway, Happy is very busy.
Yeah,
so the point is this. Listen, you bought that hotel. It's a Quality Inn. All right. So, you're not the best brand in the world. So listen, what is your competition doing? Are they doing any better? What's your star report say? Your star report tells you what the competition is doing. Get a star report. And, if you got to renovate it, is it going to raise get you better guests and you'll be able to raise your revenue, your RevPAR, how much money you can make on those rooms. I mean, hotels are all about location, but fixing up a hotel and making it nice and, and offering certain amenities like, you have a gym, you have a pool, you give them free coffee. I don't know what Quality Inn requirements are. I don't think you have to give a free breakfast out or not. You could also try to offer it if there's a demand for extended stay. Put a friggin' microwave in there. You got a fridge and a microwave. A lot of people are good enough with that. If they're in town for 2 or 3 months or a week or two.
You like Happy charge for parking?
Charge parking. Well, we can. He does it, and he saved my ass by doing it because that's what the competition was doing. That's a demand for parking. People will accept in an urban area. So, look at whatever you can do, to get your amenities, up and, maintain your place well, but, maybe start running at some kind of special on a long-term basis. So you get a little less maybe per night, but you got long solid income coming in, and see what your competition, see if they're doing anything different.
Hey,
what's around you? Hotels only feed off of stuff around them. What is the driving force in your area as the need that people need hotel rooms? And you need to get in that driving force and get some of that to get spread towards you.
Hey, did you ever put the deli in the Holiday Inn?
No deli, Holiday Inn. Next, we got vegan and Indian. What else you got, Aaron? Holy
Hey.
shit, we've been here for 2 hours already? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hey, Ben, why did you leave Texas?
Hey, people spending. What about the people that gave you money,
That's what we're doing. Hey, Ben, why did you
Stop
leave
spending
Texas?
money. We don't want no more money. Stop paying for super chats. We can't stay here all night.
My Uber driver's here.
Yeah, what else?
So why'd you leave Texas?
I didn't live there. I bought 1,000 units in one block. And then I bought a whole shitload of stuff around Houston. I bought stuff on Nassau Road Lake, Nassau Road 1. And I did really well. I mean, 1,000 units almost kicked my ass. And little Ben moved out there for 3 years and saved me. But, I bought in Texas because, number one, it's a no-tax state like here. Number two, I thought I was getting a great deal. I only paid $17,000 a door for 1,000 doors. That was $17 million. $17 million, I got 1,000 apartments. I said, how can I screw that up? Well, there's a lot of shit I didn't know. I didn't know that it had a school tax that was equivalent to the property tax. That hit me in the ass. Also, the place was master metered. I didn't know power was so expensive. Luckily, little Ben went in there and he installed 1,000 fucking meters in every unit, electric meters. And we didn't raise nobody's rent. All we told the tenants was this: you got to pay your own power bill from now on. You can stay here at the same rent, but you got to pay the power. And they did. And that saved us $100 a unit at least a month back then. 100 times 1,000 is 100,000 a month. He saved me in power bills. But he spent about 1,000. I think he got it done really cheap, like $1,000 a unit. He spent about 100 grand, but I made it back right away. So anyway, listen, Texas is a great place, but it ain't gonna come easy for what I did. I was in Guns Point, I was everywhere, Pasadena, and it's management. But you can't make money in Texas if you got the balls and the guts to manage it. But it's a different state, it's a different world.
But they've got a Whataburger.
A Whataburger. Oh my God, what a burger! You don't even eat burgers. You ate a burger once in your life. What else? Anything else? Because it is getting late now.
How do sorry, do you have any recommendations on how to get more business as a real estate appraiser?
I mean, listen, if you're an appraiser, number one, to my knowledge, it ain't like the old days. The person can't just call up, hey, I need you to appraise this house. I mean, it ain't that way. You can't do it. The bank's got to hire you. You got to go to every bank and you have to try to get on their list. Okay. And you got to be somebody that's approved by that bank to do appraisals, and then the bank, every time they get a loan, they're going to give you the business. Okay. That's the way it works in appraisals now. I mean, brokers have no control of the appraiser. The only person that can feed you business as an appraiser is, unless you're doing trusts and estates and stuff like that, then you got to go to those lawyers. But typically it's lenders, whether it's a hard money lender, whether it's a lender, B lender, a C lender, whatever level you're on, whatever type of property you used to appraise it, whether it's residential, commercial, you need to find the lenders and get in front of them and say, listen, I want to be one of your appraisers. And then, they'll send you a lot of business. What else? That's it. I'm tired. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. We really appreciate it. I'm sorry for all the chats we missed, but
next week, same time.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll definitely try. This was a test night.
No,
No,
seriously,
and Jimmy was in town.
If you have specific questions, definitely go to Consult with Ben. Book your call.
Listen,
Who do you know?
I'm going to tell you right now. You got a copy of everybody that paid for Super Chat that we didn't talk to? No way to copying it? All right. Well, listen. If you take a picture, they can take a picture of it, right?
Just hold on to next week.
Take a picture of it, send to benmal.com, and I'll do my absolute best to get back to you right away. Okay, with a response at least by email or something, all right? Or you want to spend some real money, baby. Not much. You spend whatever it is and get me on the phone and we'll talk about what your real deal is. All right?
When's your next appearance?
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
All I know is I'm very busy right now. I got the sleep in, hopefully going in contract. I'm selling TBC. I got that in contract. I'm trying to get the Sheridan in contract. I'm trying to go buy. I might go look at 248 units down here, not too far away. I want to buy. I'm doing a lot of shit right now,
And Home Depot.
Home Depot. I can't do nothing about the Home Depot. I just have to sit and wait, and hopefully they renew. That's all I can do. That's life. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. We really appreciate it. Keep watching the videos, and don't forget about sponsors, because without the sponsors, we got no channel. So at least watch them, and then give them a try, especially if they're free. ZipRecruiter,
and
you can use it for free right now.
And remember, if you get sick, eat fruit.
And if you need advice on how to keep your hair young while you're getting old, then let us know, and we'll give the message to Jimmy.
Thank you.
Yep.
All
also,
right.
make sure you like, comment,
Adios,
subscribe.
amigos.